Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. I'm affectionately calling this Cold Steel 2.5. We beat the game last night. I don't want to show that off just yet. Shh, don't worry about that. Anyway, we beat the game last night, or yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I actually played it during the day. Yeah, so we climbed the Vermilion Castle, we beat up McBurn, and then he went God mode on us and kicked our butt. So we had to deal with that. Luckily, Daddy Arcade was able to save us. And then we made it to the very top. We fought Crow and Vita. We beat Crow in a Divine Knight battle. It was really cool and epic and awesome. And then Dugayan got pissed and threw Cedric into the giant red robot that Vita told him not to, but did absolutely nothing to stop him from doing so. So, you know, she's kind of incompetent. Let's be real. Vita is not very good at her job. And yeah, a bunch of stuff happened. To wit, Kyan got arrested. Rufus betrayed the Noble Alliance because it turned out he was working for Osborn the entire time. And, as a matter of fact, Osborn survived. How the hell did he survive? That's the real question, isn't it? Yeah, so basically Osborn staged a massive coup, retook power, and pretty much squashed the Noble Alliance entirely, thanks to the efforts of Class 7 doing what they do best. So, yeah, we got played for fiddles, and also Osborn happens to be Reem's dad. That's also a thing. Just low-key, hey, you know that you were abandoned in the snow? I was the one who abandoned you in the snow. I'm your real dad. How do you like them apples? And, yeah. Ouroboros pissed off. Everything's fine. Erebonia is now under Chancellor control once again. So, let's show off this title screen because it is brand new. And, we've seen this place before. This is Crossbell City. Who are these people? I wonder. Let's, jump right in, shall we? That was a long intro. I mean, understandably. During your second playthrough of this portion, you can raise Lloyd and Risha's levels by 15. As a result, enemies can be swiftly defeated by field attacks. It's also possible to view only the chapter's key events and skip both the dungeon and the boss at the end. So, I could just view all key events for you. You get the whole experience that way. Start normally, which I won't be doing because this area is a pain in the ass. So, I'm just going to raise my levels by 15. So you can understand exactly what's going on. And the max level is 200, so you can't get any higher than that. That's fine, though. March 1205, or 3 months after the events of Cold Steel 2. Imperial Territory of Crossbell. East side, Tangram Hill. Remember, that's Imperial territory. Crossbell doesn't belong to themselves anymore. Republican Army, 2nd Area Division Armored Aviation Regiment, Cannabis. Imperial Army, 9th Armored Division Armored Battalion, Schneisel.
Guns have been hit! Sir, you can't compete with their airships in terrain like this! Oxens might be powerful, but they're still tanks!
We don't have to, just focus on defense! The others will take care of destroying them!
Imperial Army Crossbell Branch. Panzer Soldat Unit, Reserve.
Are they the Empire's new weapons?
Well, they can't aim for shit.
How can we compete with something so mobile?
How can we defeat these stationary turrets that aren't moving?
There's nothing to fear. They may be mobile, but they're a damn sight easier to handle than that purple devil of Crossbell. What the? Huh? Hello! Incoming at 3 o'clock! What the hell?
So yeah, look at that. Valmar is fighting for the Imperial Army. And by extension, Reen is too.
Is that?
The Ashen Chevalier, the hero of the Imperial Army.
The area beyond here is Imperial territory. You have no business treading into Crossbell. That was a warning. Try to advance any farther, and I will show no mercy.
All units retreat! We're returning to the outskirts of Altair!
Wow, you're amazing!
I knew you were the one who ended the Civil War, but seeing you up close, you're really something else.
Not at all. I'm still fairly inexperienced, if you ask me.
I like how he does that, but there's no, like,
Recover the
sheath or
wounded
anything.
and any POWs and return to Tangram Gate. Just remain vigilant until the speech is over.
Yes, sir!
Divertissement. The occupation.
It's now March 1205 of the Septian calendar. Over 2 months have passed since the Azure Tree vanished.
Imperial Territory, Crossbell City. Formerly the autonomous state of Crossbell. Yeah.
So much happened during those months. President Croix was arrested, Crossbell's movement for independence was promptly declared invalid. And before anyone could process what was going on, Speaker McDowell became Mayor McDowell. The
Different
war in
Crossbell,
Erebonia
huh?
came to an end sooner than anyone had anticipated, but it was quickly followed by the invasion of Crossbell. Gorelia Fortress, which once served as the only physical link between the two nations, is no more. But that proved to be little more than a temporary setback for the Imperial Army, who acted by flying hundreds of tanks over the state from a vast airship. In no time at all, Crossbell was occupied.
That was the Panther roll, by the way.
The Calvard Republic, which had been wrapped up in its own share of chaotic internal disputes, finally reacted to Erebonia's bold invasion in turn. It began with sending its cutting-edge armored airborne divisions into Crossbell, hoping to force the Empire out of the region completely.
Oh, it's the old SSS building.
But every attempt they made resulted in failure, as they were repelled effortlessly by one soldat after another. And today, at Orcus Tower, the new seat of Crossbell's government, the new rulers of Crossbell rose to deliver a rousing speech.
Friends and citizens, it brings me great pleasure to stand here among you once again. But even in the midst of such gladness, the specter of the harm Crossbell has visited upon the Empire lingers still. The destruction of Garrelia Fortress and the ensuing civil war it caused has taken a great toll in resources and in lives. The anger, sorrow, and dismay in the hearts of the Erebonian people is still fresh, still too near. But today is a joyous day, a day to put the troubles of the past behind us. Let us join hands and step boldly into the future, leaving our anger and grief behind. Challenges will rise before us, but together we shall meet them. Together, we can rise above the tumult of these troubled times. Men and women, old and young, rich and poor, those from every walk of life can share in these aspirations. Looking toward that goal, there is someone I'd like to introduce to you today. A brilliant young man who played a pivotal role in bringing Erebonia's civil war to its swift conclusion, and the individual most responsible for the historic accomplishment that sees me standing before you today. The first Governor General of Crossbell, Lord Rufus Alberea.
That's quite a promotion, becoming the Governor General of an entire country.
Greetings, friends. It truly lifts my spirits to be here among you.
What does one have to gain for betraying the Noble Alliance? Well, this sounds like a pretty good start.
I'm honored to have been entrusted with the profound responsibility of acting as Crossbell's first Governor General. As I'm sure you're all aware, the division between the nobility and the common people is a long-standing part of Erebonian life. Personally, I stand in support of our class system, but I fully expect that one day it will fade away. After all, if each citizen of the Empire conducts themselves with the courage, dignity, and grace expected of a noble, then what difference would remain between myself and any of you? As I hope for that day, allow me to speak not only as your Governor General, but as an individual when I say, in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Eugent III, I hereby proclaim the annexation of Crossbell into the Erebonian Empire.
May the goddess above stand witness, and may she forever bless Erebonia and Crossbell with the light of prosperity.
Pleasant annexation speech, you know? Something to
We've
really
got
get
some
the
real
masses-
larger-than-life characters in charge of us now.
Something to get the masses really riled up. It's Grace in 3D. I'm so happy. You have no idea. I didn't know who she was when I first played Cold Steel 2, but like, now I'm replaying it again.
Sure, the Imperial Chancellor's intimidating, but he's so charismatic that the people eat up his every word. They love the guy.
She's great. She is amazing. The game needs more Grace. That's all I'm gonna say.
I can see why he's the bee's knees over in Heimdall.
The new Governor General's something else too, albeit for different reasons. He's, how to put this, difficult to hate. Like, he'd tell you to do something, and the next thing you know, you'd find yourself doing it just to see him crack a smile.
Well, Alberea is the name of one of the top noble houses in the Empire. Top 2, even. Not surprised that the heir of such an affluent family would be popular. But it feels like there's more to him than that.
That's what gets me, though. Those two were on completely opposite sides during the war. So why are they both so buddy-buddy now? Very oddly sudden, in my opinion.
You're telling me? By the sounds of things, Erebonians can't make heads or tails of what's going on with it either.
Hey, Extremity. Welcome to the stream.
But you know how it is. There's so many rumors springing up thanks to the war, it's hard to tell truth from fiction.
We're playing Cold Steel 2.5.
Yeah, I've even heard about a 1,000-arch tall castle appearing in the capital. I mean, that's gotta be made up, right? There's no way something like that's real.
You've got a real short memory if you think that's bull. The Azure Tree wasn't that long ago, you know.
Point taken.
Yes, this is the office of the Crossbell Times. What? Representative McDowell will be issuing a statement.
Huh, sounds like something big's happening behind the scenes already.
I'll get to gathering some info on what's happening for our international section. Calvert's probably got some good stuff.
Works for me. Gotta use those connections of yours for something, after all.
Well, see you later.
The whole, I'm a spy and, you know, I'd like to keep
Our
that under
independence
wraps
came
thing.
and went like bubbles on the water, and now we aren't even a state anymore. We're in for some tough times ahead. No, they always say that the pen is mightier than the sword. I won't let those guys outdo me. Chief, let me handle that story.
Yeah, Grace is great. We need more Grace in our lives. And I need Hajimar in my life. Good thing I just got in the mail today. A physical copy to go with my digital copy, because, you know.
That's all we of Heiyue can do for you, I'm afraid.
Oh, hey, KG Tang. I hear you.
The guards have been given a little incentive to stay out of your way. You should face no more obstacles in your operation.
Thanks, Sal.
Think nothing of it. It's my pleasure to play all the cards I can. The place you're aiming for is where all the information in Crossbell gathers, as well as its Achilles heel. What you're doing does us no shortage of favors, I'll have you know.
Well, just this once? I'm happy to hear that.
Do take care, Yin. My apologies. Rishia. I've received information that quite a skilled warrior is in Crossbell at the moment.
As have I. Nonetheless, thank you for your warning.
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't want anything happening to a valuable future business partner. I believe that does it for me. I'll be praying for your success.
It's our boys Lloyd. Or our boy Lloyd. And also our girl Risha.
He's being awfully cooperative, isn't he? And again, it's not a stretch to think he's only doing it because he's got something up his sleeve.
He's an incredibly shrewd man. Most likely, he's happy to do whatever will shine the most favorable light on him once Crossbell's occupation period is over.
True enough. He wouldn't want to screw up his chance to potentially play mediator between Crossbell and the Republic. I get the feeling he'd get along great with Lecter. He's our ally for now, but there's no guarantee how long that'll last.
Exactly. It's in our best interest to remain wary of him. Still, if working with him helps protect those I care about most, then I'll gladly do so.
Likewise.
So yeah. Just isn't a Crossbell game if you don't get to go into the Geo front, huh? Lloyd Bannings. Inglorious 3D. And Risha Mao, also Inglorious 3D.
Tio said to aim for the area up ahead. Crossbell's future rests in our hands, so let's get moving.
Right.
For this chapter alone, you will make your way through a dungeon-controlling police detective Lloyd Bannings and Arc and CL performer Risha Mao. Both link attacks and overdrive are available to them. So yeah. Just so I can cheese some stuff. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You can even upgrade your slots in this. Like, you get all your shit sent back to normal. Very least, you're given some decent stuff. And the game makes it so you can handle business with your party at hand, but obviously,
Right.
you're gonna want to do some stuff, beat up some enemies. Anyway, we're way more powerful than everything in here, so we're just gonna go cut them down for shits and gigs. Ding.
Bring it on!
Allow me. Arcus, activate.
Here goes! Take this!
Man, the audacity of this bitch.
Right. Activate.
My turn!
Prepare yourself. Come.
Here goes!
Allow me. Arcus, activate.
I'm still up for more.
So yeah, standard stuff.
That was some fight.
This sector has been abandoned for quite some time. It's not hard to imagine why so many powerful monsters settled in here. What amazes me more is just how much these Arcus orbments are capable of.
Yeah, they'll be a real asset to us in the future. They're so modern, they're practically still in testing over at the Empire.
I miss the variety of arts I could use before, but in terms of balance, they're much more suited for combat than our Enigma 2s.
Well, Erebonia's always had the upper hand on military technology, if nothing else. We should count ourselves lucky that Michel got his hands on them for us. On that note, we should also count ourselves lucky for being able to utilize them so well. I don't think we've had a single problem linking up.
I admit, it's a strange feeling. It's as if we knew everything there was to know about one another, through and through. Almost as if our bodies became one.
Uh-huh.
How, poetic. Sort of like how you perform with Elia on stage, right? That's like being one, in a sense.
Oh, Lloyd, you know exactly what she meant.
Now that you mention it, you could put it that way, yes. At this point, however, I doubt I would even need one of these to match my movements to hers in battle.
Oh, Lloyd, my boy. You just gotta get it in there, you know?
So this is what the Geofront's E sector looks like. This one supposedly had its existence hidden from the general public, didn't it?
That's what Ellie said anyway. It was kept sealed off to keep everything inside strictly confidential. Corrupt officials and Diet members used it to conceal any information they didn't want leaking out. She did add that it wasn't its only use, though. just one of them.
I see. Not the kind of place we can just leave as it is, then.
Yeah. We need to make our way through here, whatever it takes. Ready to give it everything we've got?
Of course.
Alright. More dungeon crawling. Endless dungeon crawling is what we're up to right now. So yeah, ideally I want to get through here as quickly as I can. But this dungeon was pretty annoying from what I remember, so it might take me a while. Luckily none of the monsters here will actually pose an issue for us, since we can just kill them all.
This is a tight fit.
The advantage is ours. Right. Come.
Right. I'm still up for more.
The advantage is ours. Prepare yourself. Come.
My turn. All right, we're safe now.
Excuse me. Good old sniffles. So much fun.
What a nice treasure chest. This'll only take a moment.
Welcome to the stream, Cora.
Prepare yourself.
Hope you're having a good old time.
Now! Overdrive!
My turn.
Allow me. Prepare yourself. An opening.
Gotcha. Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
Not a bad team, are we?
Yeah, we got a Grail locket. Perfect. we're gonna pop the ladder back up. And then we're gonna head over here. Ah, you're watching the Smash Direct. I see. Hope you're having fun with that. Alright, I need to climb up the ladder now. Look at me getting lost all the time in these damn mazes here. Into the ducts we go.
All right.
Prepare yourself. Come!
Right.
Allow.
My turn. All right, we're safe now. Oh, found a chest.
7 dragons armor. Gives you a little evasion. Can't complain about that. Anyway, in order to progress, we need to get that back to red. So we need to keep going.
This duct really is narrow.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing at all. I might not be able to see anything.
But this is pure torture. Oh, Lloyd.
Oh, found a chest.
This is really torture if you're enjoying it. Anyway, that's a weapon for Frisia. Gives a faint chance. Faint's pretty good. More ducts. Endless ducts. Trails of duct steel. Alright, treasure's all picked. Let's keep going. I don't think I'm gonna get enough for these anytime soon. I'll find a whole bunch more NPCs to wail on to get that off, but hey, it's fine.
What a nice treasure chest.
Strega S's. It's ladies only, apparently. But I'll take it. And I'll take any defense boost I can get for the hell we're about to endure.
Oh, found a chest.
Emergency puppet. I don't think I'll be getting much use out of that. Alright, now I need to switch over to white instead of red. Woohoo! So that takes away our path back, but we just have to keep going forward. Oh look, big bugs.
Commencing subjugation.
My turn. Right.
Allow me. Shatter! Now!
Gotcha! Finish now! Rising sun! I'm still up for more.
And we got the defense 3 quarts for our trouble. That's nice.
That takes care of them. Hope I didn't end up dragging you down any.
There was never any chance of that. I can't think of anyone else who could go through the things you did and come out stronger than ever. You should be more confident, Lloyd.
There's no way I could have gone through it all alone, though. I've still got a ways to go as a detective, too. And when you think about all the obstacles we've got waiting for us, I'm nowhere near strong enough to handle it all.
I wouldn't say that.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I've got no confidence in my own abilities. I just think it's important to be able to give an honest assessment of your own strengths and weaknesses. When it comes to pure strength in combat, Randy and Noelle clearly come out on top. With processing information, it's Tio, Yona, and Fran. And in terms of negotiation tactics, I can't compare to Ellie or the Chief either. If we don't make good use of our respective strengths, we're not going to be able to get through what's ahead.
Hey, Draconic Rat, welcome to the stream.
We might not all be able to stay in the same place anymore, but we still need to be able to work together.
Hope you're enjoying Trails of Cold Steel 2.5 with our good buddy Lloyd. I like Lloyd. Lloyd is very objective.
They've started keeping a watch on everyone then?
Yeah, I think Randy was the first one. After that, Ellie and Noelle started being watched. If it weren't for Tio's help, Kia and I would probably be in trouble too.
Is Kia still with Arios and Shizuku?
Yeah, Arios is looking after both of them. They should be okay for the time being. If the Imperial Army sets their eye on them, things could get nasty. It's okay. The reason we're here is to try and avoid coming to that. We best get moving. We've still likely got a ways to go.
true. Let's go.
Flip the white switch. And we can progress. Kinda, sorta. Have I seen Shizuku's Hajimari? Yeah, I've seen her in Hajimari. I haven't played Hajimari, but I've seen the screenshots of returning characters and such.
The advantage is ours.
She's looking cute.
Prepare yourself.
Come on.
Come.
Right.
Allow me.
Don't feel like overkill.
Let's keep moving.
Do I take care of the one below me first? I think I do. That way I get the treasure first.
What a nice treasure chest.
What's inside? Oh,
Bring
it's
it
a
on.
monster. It's a whole bunch of monsters.
Prepare yourself. Shatter!
Rude. Rude.
Right. Come.
Right.
Right. Now.
Gotcha. Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
And we got the Zeus gem. Damn it. Alright, the red thing up. All that, Seppa. Hit this one, yada yada yada. Suppose I don't actually need to. Suppose that's actually the wrong way. Okay, yeah, that's me getting turned around. I want to keep going. I want to progress this dungeon, right? Oh dear. What the hell is that? I don't know, but it looks gross.
Commencing subjugation. Prepare yourself. Now! Overdrive! Shatter! An opening!
Gotcha! Here goes! Now! Come on, Misha!
Understood! Allow me. Now!
Gotcha!
Prepare yourself. An opening!
Gotcha!
Allow me. An opening!
Gotcha! My turn! You're off balance!
This is my chance!
Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
Not a bad team, are we?
All right. So far, so good.
I suppose.
Is something wrong?
I just have a bad feeling about something. I'm sorry. It's probably just my imagination.
So you say, but those bad feelings of yours usually pan out to be accurate. I've had my life saved by them enough times to know that. If it weren't for you, I'd have probably died on one of those landmines, or been hit by that sniper.
Yep. Remember the final chapter of Azure? Good times.
I'd forgotten all about those. I have much less of an idea what the cause of this one could be, though. I only have a general, vague sense that something dangerous is drawing near.
Could it be that skilled warrior Sal mentioned earlier?
It might be. If all we were dealing with was a skilled warrior, I'm sure I'd be able to take care of them. This, though, whatever it is, it feels far beyond my capabilities. I'm probably not making much sense, am I?
No, it's okay. Even the warning alone is appreciated. Rishia knows how to keep her cool in a crisis better than anyone I know. If what we're up against has even her on edge, I need to work on kicking my instincts up a notch or two. At least so they're as good as guys. Well, according to the data Tio gave us, we should be over halfway through by now. Let's just stay alert. If we don't know what we're up against, all we can do is try and be prepared for anything.
Agreed.
A good way to go about it. But yeah, we're close to the halfway point, just past it. So, you know, we're making good progress in this dungeon here. Oh, this has to be a pain in the ass for anyone who wants to like do maintenance down here. It's like, oh, you gotta solve the puzzle to actually, you know, get anywhere in this place. Dude, what the fuck? Why? Well, you know, it's how we designed the place. Yeah, but that's stupid. What if the puzzle breaks down and then you can't actually get to the puzzle to do anything about it? Yeah, well then you're kind of fucked. Alright, so the elevator's locked, so we've got more puzzles to do. I don't think the side you pick matters to start.
Oh, an elevator. Our destination must be down.
Oops. Sorry, Regia.
Yeah, let's try and unlock it.
Be wary of that monster. I will overcome any. Allow me. Shatter! Now, come with me, Lloyd.
All right. Here goes! Now!
This is my chance! Right. Shatter!
Right. Now!
This is my chance! Right. Now!
Gotcha! Right.
Prepare yourself. Shatter! Now!
Gotcha! Nice knowing you've got my back, Rishi.
Oh, monsters can just get out of my way. They aren't worth my time. The only reason I'm here is to solve these damn puzzles.
This is almost uncomfortably narrow.
You notice how the humans of each Septarian show one of the 7 deadly sins so far? The Orioles humans grew in sloth, which led to it being sealed. The greed of the alchemist led to Mirage, one killing itself. And Erebonia's is influenced by wrath and pride. That's a interesting way of thinking about it. And I can definitely see the comparisons. So what, that just leaves lust, gluttony, and Here I go. I went to Catholic school. I should know these things. Pride, greed, wrath, envy. Yeah, envy. Duh. I mean, if that holds true, then we'll probably be seeing envy in Calvard, knowing our luck.
A nice treasure chest.
And we got the Stregopedes. Complain about more defense. Guess what? More ducts. Endless ducts. And I mean, I can definitely see that. 7 Anguis are apparently supposed to map pretty well onto the 7 sins as well. With Wiseman being pride. And
That's the first lock done.
Vita clearly being lust. I don't know, that one's a bit harder to say because it's hard to really go for it, but I can see it. Like, Novartis would be gluttony. We just haven't seen all the Anguis yet to really say whether that's the case for sure or not. Like the Steel Maiden. Actually, Steel Maiden might be Pride. Pride would be believable for her. I don't know, the 5th is probably Acedia, or Sloth. Actually, maybe Wiseman's Envy. I can buy that. Or Greed, I can also buy that. You know, he was kind of just an unpleasant individual in general, so, like, most of the deadly sins map pretty well onto him.
Be wary of that monster.
You know, that monster we're not going to fight? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be wary of that. I'm just waiting to see what they map onto the 7 heavenly virtues, if they
A nice treasure chest.
actually plan on doing that. I doubt it. Most people don't even know what the 7 heavenly virtues are, and I can't even name them off the top of my head. It's like patience, chastity, all that sort of nonsense.
This is a tight fit.
Thank goodness for turbo mode. Getting through all these awful ladders and vents, all this fun stuff. Do I go up? Not yet. Yes, I definitely go up. Gotta get that treasure after all. Kindness, chastity, abstinence, patience, charity, diligence, and humility. I like how they put chastity and abstinence as like they're 2 separate things. I mean, technically they are, but nowadays they're just the same.
Found a chest.
Commencing subjugation. Prepare yourself.
Overdrive!
No, I should get in some fights to gauge up.
Here goes!
Allow me.
Nice knowing you've got my...
And a Zerum capsule. That ain't bad. I won't complain about having one of those on hand. But yeah, basically they mirror the deadly sins by being their opposites. Whether that's true in practice is not necessarily the case, and honestly, people can. Who do I hate more, Wiseman or Duke Alberea? I hate Wiseman more. Like, Duke Alberea is annoying and a jerk, but ultimately, he's far more harmless than Wiseman was. Wiseman actually is like, clever. He actually uses his brain.
I will overcome
Duke
any
Alberea is
obstacle.
just a dumbass who is
Allow me.
highly malicious. And because of that, you know,
Come.
everything goes to shit.
Now.
Gotcha! Right.
What did Greg Wiseman do?
You're off balance!
This is my chance.
Well, Georgie
Right.
here,
Come.
you know what? Just play Trails in the Sky second chapter, and you can see what he did.
Here goes!
He was utterly malicious in the way he brainwashed Joshua.
Allow me.
Got his own sick, perverse amusement out of the way he played with him. That's why him, you know, getting exactly what he deserved at the end was perfect and amazing.
Prepare yourself. Let's keep moving.
Oh, got an attack 3 out of it. Nice. I mean, Invigorate's cool and all, but like, yeah. I want to be able to actually, like, kill my opponents. That'd be nice. Got a Heavenly Robe and a Tier All Bomb. With that, Risha is less likely to die. unlock the elevator.
That's 2 locks done. Let's head back to the elevator. The advantage is ours. Prepare yourself.
Here goes! They're off balance!
This is my chance!
Nice knowing you've got my back.
Alright. Down we go. Maybe I shouldn't have turboed there. Oh dear. Okay, that was almost bad. I didn't realize that was what would happen. I mean, you saw that, right? I clipped through the elevator. And I couldn't move at all. So I had to wait for the elevator to finish going down, and then I popped right back on top of it before it went to the bottom. So yeah, that was almost bad times. Bad times were almost had for us. Alright, let's dance. I watched Proton John, glitches like that or nothing.
Lloyd, I think we're here.
Yeah, but I think that's intentional on his part.
We finally reached the end.
God, I remember watching old Proton John LPs back in like 2007 on Something Awful. Those were the days, man. E Sector, Central Terminal Room.
Oh my. This facility would be the center of Crossbell's orbal network, yes?
In a way, the overall structure is far too complex for this to unambiguously be its center, but it's a good chunk. Either way, if the Imperial Army took it over, they'd have instant access to all info related to us on the net. Every Crossbell citizen's personal data, records on our financial transactions, even the layout of the whole geofront. If we want to have any hope of a future, we can't allow that to happen.
I agree. Why not just destroy the facility itself, though?
It could, I guess. But from what I can gather, it could still prove useful to us once the net's safely back in our hands. So the plan is to leave the hardware itself intact, but wipe any and all personal data the Army could take advantage of.
And that's where that initialization unit Teal made comes in, right?
Right. Roberts and Yona were the ones who actually designed it, though. They wrote the program for it from scratch, too. And that makes things easy on our end. Once we boot up the computer, it'll create a backup of everything we need before wiping it clean.
We must nuke Google.
Initialization unit activated.
We just need to go into their servers
Confirming
and
connection to terminal.
put a magnet to it. It's fine.
The unit will commence backing up all data, initializing the system, followed by performing a reboot operation. Are you certain you wish to continue? If so, please press the red button at the center of the unit to proceed.
Right.
Commencing all required processes.
I like how Tio had to make it give instructions so Lloyd would know what to do. Because, you know, she was just like, okay, make this idiot-proof. Please. Boy doesn't know how to operate anything orbital. Please.
Nicely done, Lloyd.
It's not like I did anything special. It's funny. Ordinarily, this kind of work would take hours. This unit will let us get in and out in 10 minutes flat. Those two never cease to amaze, do they?
Roberts and Yona? They certainly are impressive. In the meantime, let's secure the area.
Stop where you are.
Gasp. I recognize that voice. Oh snap. It's Reen. And also Altina.
I didn't sense anyone coming.
Targets confirmed. I presume these must be Lloyd Bannings and Rishia Mao, respectively.
How do they know our names?
I was a bit surprised when I found Altina with Reen. I'm like, why are they working together? What's going on? Like, I get why Reen's here, but why is Altina working with him? And then it's just like, oh. Okay, sure, but like, this is still weird.
Hold on. Isn't that Itachi?
Yes, Lloyd is in fact Reinhardt from ReZero, which makes it funny when you consider that Reen is, Subaru.
Like the one Arios uses.
I'm nowhere near as proficient with one as he is, though. But we should be able to handle the two of you at least.
Damn, when did you start getting so cocky?
Clown Soleus.
The hell?
A black puppet?
Sorry, but we've got our orders. We can't let you finish what you came here for.
I'm afraid we can't let you stop us either.
We won't let you past.
Confirming activation of combat link.
It looks like more Argus units ended up leaking out than I thought. We should form one too, then.
Understood. Activating Arcus.
There shouldn't be any need to neutralize them. Our goal is to buy enough time for the initialization process to finish running. Let's do this, Rishia!
Right.
And we can't afford to give them that time, Altina.
Understood. Commencing assault.
Yeah, this is one of the most annoying fights in the game. Mostly because you don't have the forts to set up for a really long, drawn-out showdown with them. That's why I did the add 15 levels thing, so I hopefully wouldn't get my ass kicked repeatedly by these jerks.
Right. Let's get this over with.
Prepare yourself.
Whether that ends up being the case or not, we shall see, because chances are I'm still gonna get my ass whooped.
An opening! Come with me, Lloyd!
Right! Finish now! Rising sun!
Prepare yourself. Shatter!
Here goes! Here I go! Overdrive!
Bang Zoom dubs a lot of JRPGs? Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Here goes! You're off balance!
This is my chance! Allow me. Come!
An opening! Come with me, Lloyd!
Right! Right! Now!
This is my chance!
Not a chance!
You fiend!
Behold my dance, an illusory offering to departing souls. Sleep, embraced by silver light. Bind!
Here goes! My turn!
Allow me.
Finish now!
Oh dear.
There! Now!
I'll aid you.
You fiend!
Right. There.
I thought the Zern powder cured pain. That's my mistake. It does not.
Finish now! Rising sun! Not a chance!
Activating extermination.
Oh, good thing cover triggered. So that way I'm not.
We can turn this around.
I'm fine. The situation is fine.
Now!
Gotcha!
Everything worked out.
You're finished.
Thank you, Link abilities.
Mission failed. But how?
I could have just healed up and been fine, but that works too.
Nice knowing you've got my back, Risha.
Not a bad team, are we?
So you can see why that fight would be so annoying, because you don't really have the tricks and tools to survive a long drawn-out fight. They give you adamantine shield at least, so you can use that, but like, that fight's supposed to be long and drawn out and tedious and a pain in the ass.
I'm surprised. I knew full well Risha would pose a threat, but I wasn't expecting half as much from a simple detective.
You could say it runs in the family. I'm just as impressed by how proficient you are with that blade, given your age.
I've still got a long way to go, honestly. I won't be worthy of being called a divine blade anytime soon.
Almost got wrecked there. Shh, don't worry about it. I did fine.
Rain, time is running short. I think it's time you stopped holding back.
I suppose you're right.
What?
Be careful!
What's he doing?
Such negative energy.
There's no need for that.
Initialization process completed. Rebooting all systems in an initialized state.
We did it!
What a relief.
What should we do?
Captain Lecter gave us 2 orders. One was to prevent the initialization. The other was only to be completed in the event we couldn't. We'll just do that one.
Captain Lecter!
It couldn't be the same Lecter from the Imperial Army's intelligence division, right?
Nah, it's more than likely is. It is.
Heed my call!
Don't worry about it.
Valimar, the Ashen Knight!
Holy...
An ion? No, it isn't.
They're like, what the hell is that? Why does he have one? What's going on?
Wait, no!
Lloyd!
If we can at least get the data out of here.
Take it and go.
We'll split our losses this time. Arrest warrants haven't been issued for either of you yet. So go.
Damn it.
Well, we didn't die, so that's nice.
Just tell me one thing, as I'm sure you already know. My name is Lloyd Bannings, and I'm a police detective with the Crossbell State Police Department. What's your name?
I'm with Thor's Military Academy, Class 6. No. I'm a provisional military officer with the Crossbell government, Reen Schwarzer.
He just wants to say he's part of Class 7 so bad, but he can't. Because he's not acting as an operative of Class 7. My baby.
Yes, this is Schwarzer speaking.
Yeah, just like, how does he put that away? He doesn't take it from anywhere.
Hey, good job on the mission.
Nothing good about it, I'm afraid. I couldn't prevent them from erasing all the data.
It's not the end of the world. They've still got plenty of other options. They're not the type to give up easily, but it'll set them back in the meantime.
Is that so, Captain? You must know them fairly well.
I guess you could say that. They're no pushovers. They've had the odds stacked against them in more ways than I can count. They've come out the other side every time.
I'm so sorry I couldn't do anything. I had a feeling something was going to happen. But I was powerless when it really did.
Don't feel bad. There was no way we could have seen that coming. Especially that night. It was kind of like an ion, but at the same time it wasn't. Or like the archaisms, for that matter. He called it the Ashen Night, didn't he?
He did. Its power was out of this world. Do you think that was one of the Imperial Army's new weapons, too?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, it shares some similarities with their soldats. I don't know. Feels like there's more to it than that. And its pilot was anything but normal. Let's put it out of our minds for now. We stopped that data from falling into the Army's hands. It wasn't our smoothest operation. I'd still call it a success. I'm sure Tio, Yona, and Roberts can make do even without those terminals. We can always count on Ellie, Randy, Noel, the Chief, and Dudley, too. Even Kia, Arios, Wazi, and Zeit will help us. There are still many barriers left between us and our goals. But we can get over them. So long as we're together.
Right.
Remember all those characters from Crossbell?
You're heading back then?
Barely anyone on this side of the border does.
That's the plan. I've played my part. I'll return with Valimar in the train this afternoon.
Well, if that's what you want to do. I was just wondering if you wanted to go back on the Eisengraph together instead. You two haven't spoken since, right?
Excuse me.
This is where we part ways, then.
There's many things I'd rather do than talk to Osborn right now, let me tell you.
I look forward to any collaborative efforts we may have in the future.
Yeah. Oh, right. Do you have anything you want me to pass on to Milliam?
Not especially.
It's like, who are these jokers?
We may technically be sisters, but I am simply a tool. I feel no particular familial bond with her. I imagine that deep down, she feels the same way.
Yeah, but... no. Forget it.
Look at
care,
Reen
okay?
head patting.
I don't doubt you're going to be sent on plenty of dangerous missions in the days to come.
Understood?
Dude, I love Reen's description if you analyze him. Maybe I should have done that. Eh, who cares?
Is something wrong?
Not really.
It's not the end of the world.
I'm just kind of jealous of them, I guess.
I wish I was a real hero like Lloyd Bannings is. It's something edgy about him having his eyes clouded with sadness. Oh, yep, that definitely sounds right. Anyway, we beat the divertissement. So, yeah, let's keep plugging along. I've only been streaming for like an hour and a half. Not even. March 9th, Wednesday. Now we just have to make it through the epilogue. Oh, God, the epilogue. The Twin Dragons Bridge. Back in the Imperial Army's possession. Railway Military Police high-speed train. Crusader. Never get to see this train ever again, so enjoy it, train fanatics, while it lasts. Jeez. Holy crap, I have 10 viewers at this time of night? You guys are crazy. Welcome
Sorry
to the
about
stream.
that, Valimar. Can't imagine it was a very pleasant trip for you, all bound up like that.
It did not present a problem. I will now have train in active state and allow the mechanics to perform maintenance.
Thanks. Well then, I'll leave him with you.
Sure thing. We'll take good care of him.
By the way, it's a real honor to be entrusted with the famous Ashen Knight.
How do you even perform maintenance on Valimar anyway?
Welcome back, Reen. You must be exhausted.
Not really. I barely did anything. Everything went off without a hitch, mostly thanks to Valimar's power.
Oh, Reen mad. He angry. Ooh.
Not to mention the planning of your people.
You're annoyed, I take it.
No, he's perfectly happy, Claire. Your ability to point out the obvious is amazing as ever. There's no wonder they call you the Icy Maiden.
By the way we do things.
Not really. Regardless of the means, the war coming to a swift end was a good thing for everyone. As for what happened to Crossbell, I'm not in any position to talk. No, those aren't what bother me. I can buy that you had no idea Rufus was an Ironblood. But did you really not know about my real father?
Ah, yes. Daddy issues, coming to the fore.
I didn't have any hard evidence, but I did suspect that might be the case. You just seemed somehow similar. The air about you, your facial features. I was always puzzled by how fascinated he was by your class as well.
I see. Excuse me then.
Right.
Good. Sit back.
That wasn't the only reason I worried about you, you know.
It's also because I've got a serious brother complex and I'm projecting all of my insecurities and failures onto you.
Not that I could possibly tell him that.
Yeah, that's probably something you'd want to keep secret, keep bottled up. Hopefully forever, but, you know, we weren't so lucky. Sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of Claire.
I'm behaving like such a child. It's hard to believe it's been a whole month since I was here last.
Oni-chan loved me.
Guess it didn't snow after all. It's not like the excitement of that day has faded away or anything. So why? Why do I feel so cold? Huh? Oh.
Oh, Reen.
Lino flowers.
My poor dumb baby.
Welcome back, Reen.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I mean, if you found out that your dad is the person who causes so much unrest in the world, also that he somehow survived being shot in the chest, you know, it's kind of does wonders on your psyche. And by wonders, I mean, oh my god, how are you coping? Not very well, it seems.
What are you doing standing there? It's not like you to wallow in nostalgia. Did the flowers get to you?
You all came to see me.
They started budding just yesterday. Should be in full bloom in about a week. Guess some of them couldn't wait.
I guess not.
He's so sad, but he's so happy to be here.
It's good to be back, you guys.
Agreed. We're all so happy to see you again.
You must be wiped out after all you did, though.
I'm fine, actually. It really wasn't that tough. Still, did all of you really come out here just to welcome me back?
Why wouldn't we?
It's not like we second years have any lessons to worry about this time of year.
Besides, I already had to come out here because of Valimar, so I figured I might as well say hi to you too.
Technically, the first years are supposed to be in class right now, but I turned it into a self-study period instead. And that was only possible because everyone's favorite captain told us exactly when you'd be arriving.
Really now? It's nice to see you here too, Celine.
Well, don't think I went out of my way to be here or anything.
But Baka?
But given the way that you were acting when you left, I was a little worried about you. I mean, I wasn't. Not at all.
It's not like I was worried about you or anything, but Baka?
Still, thanks everyone.
So what now? Going back to your dorm for some well-earned rest?
We can carry your stuff for you if you want.
No, I'm fine. You said that class is in session right now, right? I'm a student, so I might as well attend. I mean, I have been absent for a month now.
Wow, you're no fun at all. I was hoping we could skip the whole class thing and get to the welcome back party.
Sarah's my girl. She understands all too well.
I like that idea. Come on, it's party time!
Am I the only one who cares about studying at this school?
Well, maybe we can hold the party tonight instead.
In that case, we should probably head back to the academy.
Oh, Machias. Such a party pooper.
Reen, nice work.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
Epilogue. Winter's End. Because, you know, we couldn't just end the game where we did. We need to have even more game.
I'll never forget those days. The final weeks we spent together as a class are like dazzling jewels forever etched into my memories. I cherished every last moment. I never wanted it to come to an end. But time stops for no one. The minutes and hours kept passing, and our days together were slowly coming to a close. After what happened, Valflame Palace soon returned to its original form. It was almost as if everything that took place there was some sort of dream. People's memories of that day started becoming vague. Many were convinced it was some kind of collective hallucination. That may have been in part a result of the chaotic days that followed, brought about by the Chancellor and Rufus. After the war, the entire country feared that Calvard would invade Crossbell and try to take it for its own.
Yep, just all of us shared this hallucination at the same time. It happens, like, Pizzagate, it's just stuff like that. I don't want to talk about it.
Using that to his advantage, Rufus quickly convinced the nobility to support him, pledged to cooperate with the Chancellor. And in January 1205, the combined forces of both Imperial and Provincial armies invaded Crossbell. Crossbell no longer possessed the weapon of mass destruction that had annihilated Gorelia Fortress. Thanks to that, the city was occupied in a mere day, with no blood shed. Calvard was quick to react, sending countless airships to try and drive the Imperial forces out. However, between Rufus's leadership and the combined might of the tanks and soldats under his command, they were quickly repelled. As for me, Chancellor Osborne's words became the reality. Valimar and I were heralded as those responsible for Heimdall's liberation. And as the purported hero to the nation, I'd received and accepted a request in February to back up our forces in Crossbell. It was there that I found myself suddenly leading numerous soldats and fighting off the Republican army. Before I knew it, everyone around me was referring to me as the Ashen Chevalier.
The price of fame.
Time kept flowing, and mid-March came. The month in which Class 7 would finally say their goodbyes.
So yeah, we're gonna jump all the way to March 12th.
And that brings our history review right up to the dawn of the modern era. Next week, we'll be covering the 50-year period from the Orbal Revolution up to the present day. We're blowing through this material a lot more quickly than I would otherwise, so try to keep up with your reading. Oh, and Emma and Machias, if you see anyone struggling, try to help them out, okay?
I fully intend to.
Leave it to us. I've got plenty of good reference books on the subject.
That would be very helpful, actually.
Sounds like a pain. Oh well.
I do happen to have a few gaps in my knowledge of the Revolution.
I should be able to help out with the technological side of things if you guys need it. I'm guessing we're gonna run into that Schmidt guy's name a lot too.
Well, he was one of the 3 leading disciples of Professor Epstein, so yeah.
It'll feel strange seeing his name in textbooks, knowing how he is in real life.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing to think we were able to meet him, though.
All right, like I said, I'll be giving a quiz next week on everything we've covered up to now, which means it'll cover quadratic functions, factorizations, sets, logic, and probability.
Yeah, the standard high school stuff.
Oh, and if I'm feeling really mean, there might be a little calculus in there. So, study for this one.
Oh, calculus. It's not that hard.
That's a lot. I'm getting depressed just thinking about it.
Until you get to Calc 2, and then nothing makes sense, and it is way too easy to make mistakes in Calc 2.
Sounds more like he's reciting some kind of curse.
It is all material we've covered in class before, you know.
It'll be worth going over the most basic formulas at the very least.
Politics and ethics.
That sums up this lecture on the structure of the stock market in Erebonia. Next week, we will hurry on and study unemployment and inflation problems. You're also going to be taking part in a debate on those issues. So make sure each of you are well prepared.
What kind of debate?
No fee.
A debate. It's when people are divided into groups for and against something, then they argue their viewpoints.
He's in trouble.
After much consideration, I've decided we will use our remaining time to listen to and enjoy music from all manner of genres. From famous classics to popular modern music, I've gathered records of all kinds for you to enjoy. I even managed to borrow music from a hot new genre like heaving metal, I believe it's called. Oh, I wonder what that sounds like.
Oh goodness. That sounds like a fun music class. I'd love to listen to heavy metal in class. I mean, I did, but
Nice work, guys.
that was decidedly not the teacher's desire. I bet it's so much easier to do it now with AirPods. Like,
You poor kids must be exhausted. Feels like all your other instructors are dead set on cramming your brains with as much material as humanly possible.
I want to crawl into a hole and die.
You said it.
Still, this is exactly how we wanted it.
Right. They're doing it for our sake, so I don't mind it so much.
yep. That's my school life entirely.
There's no way we could cover everything in class, so it's sweet of them to give us the bullet points while they still can. It's paying off for us in the long run, yeah, so we owe them a lot.
Forcing you to try and keep up with us is a little unfair of us, though.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do all of this again next year.
Are you sure you're fine with this arrangement?
Why wouldn't he be? He gets a head start and easy high grades. It's fine.
Of course. This is to my benefit, too. If I get all of this crammed into my head now, maybe I can even come out on top on next year's midterms.
Well...
The question is, why is all of Class 7 trying to force themselves to graduate early?
That's some confidence. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually did it, though.
He did come in 7th in the midterms this year, remember?
Yeah, if you import your save and you ended up really high in the midterms, you get this line. If you, like, screwed up, it would have been like, you got 45th in the midterms last year, though, so, you know, that's kind of shooting for the stars.
I'm probably just being too optimistic.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Guess we'll know for sure next year.
Anyway, tomorrow's the day you've all been waiting for. Your next free day. I know you've got enough schoolwork to choke a horse, but try to carve out a little time for your clubs and all that youthful jazz. The forecast for tomorrow is clear blue skies. Might be the perfect chance to sneak off and get into some ooh la la with that special someone.
And truly, you teach us all by living your life as a shining counterexample.
Spoken like a true lifetime member of the Lonely Hearts Club, instructor.
Hey! I'll have you know that there are plenty of guys who would do anything for a private lesson with yours truly.
But if that many men are interested in you, how come you spend so much time drinking alone in your room?
Damn, Elliot, just stick the knife right in, don't ya? Why don't ya?
I think the polite thing to do here is just smile and nod.
If you keep setting your sights on guys like Laura's dad, you might as well just buy a couple cats and get it over with.
It does seem like she's fighting an uphill battle to find a good match.
Just you wait, guys. In 2 weeks, when you see the hordes of chiseled, elegant gents draped over me, we'll see who has the last laugh.
Oh, Sarah. Never change.
Time really does fly. It's hard to believe our last free day is tomorrow.
Yeah, it felt like we still had more time.
For me, it feels like it's been ages since I last had one.
I suppose it would. Were you able to rest up at all while you were away?
Not really. It was basically work, work, work the whole time. I did get taken into Crossbell City during what time off I did have, but I can't say I felt very comfortable there.
I'm sure. Indeed. That must have been more painful than anything.
Yeah, it's been a whole day since our last real free day. I mean, we're not counting our rest days in Breahard and stuff.
To the people of Crossbell, we Erebonians are aggressors. I can hardly imagine they would welcome us with open arms.
That doesn't sound like it'd stop Lecter from living it up over there, though.
He did take me to a casino once, actually. He won so much, he might as well have been cheating.
Shocking. It always feels like people who like gambling really like it, huh?
Hey, speaking of people who like to gamble.
So, does anyone have anything planned for our free day? Remember, it's the very last one, so make it count. We wouldn't want to end the day with any regrets.
True enough. Although, I wonder if I'd end the day regretting that it has to end in the first place if we made it too much fun.
I've got so much that I want to do, I'm not sure where to start. I know I want to attend practice, at least. Oh, same. I've got to go taste test some new dishes for the cooking club, plus Kirsch's has a new menu up, and...
How many stomachs do you have?
Will you be helping the student council tomorrow, Reen?
That's the plan. It sounds like Toa will finish handing all her work over to the others today, but they're bound to be busy. So I thought it'd be nice to take some of it off their hands, whether they like it or not.
Ah, Reen, ever the reliable gopher.
That's a very you response.
If there's anything we can help with, let us know, okay?
Milliam needs more stomachs. Not nearly enough stomachs for Milliam.
Well, I guess I'd better get going. I could go straight to the student council room, but it's my first time back in over a month, so it would be nice to take a walk. Maybe I should go and see how Valamar's doing too.
Reen?
What's up? I thought you were going to water the flowers.
I was, but they can wait. I think you need more watering now.
Aww.
Thanks. You're a sweet girl, you know that?
Not really. I wanted to do this for myself. I need to make the most of this warmth while I still can.
He's too cute.
You really are docile as can be when we're alone together. Unlike the rest of the time.
Shut up.
It wasn't for long, but the two of them were happy simply passing the time together. When the time came to part ways, they said their goodbyes just outside the classroom. Classes are now over for the day, and you can walk around the academy grounds freely. After visiting the building accessible through the engineering building, and speaking to Toa in the student council room, the story will advance. You can change a character's costume by blah 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 blah. If you don't, you stay in the default. But Fallout is dumb. Have a good night, Draconic Rat. Take care. Alright. So, that's where all our peoples are hanging out. I'm just gonna check for missable things first, because always check for missable things first. Holy crap, there are a lot of character notes. Belle, Mint, Bridget, Nicholas, Clara. Holy shit, yeah. So yeah, the game just pretty much wants me to go talk to absolutely anyone and everyone. I don't think anyone expected the trouble in Crossbell to come to an end so quickly. It just goes to show the sorts of things Chancellor Osborne is capable of. Of course, attributing that solely to him would be ignoring all of your hard work. Hardly. I did what I was told. Reen, try not to let your spirit sink, okay? As hard as it may be. I decided to join a military band in the Imperial Army after I graduate. I want a career that gives me the chance to show people the strength of music. And where better to show strength than in the military? Let me put the skills I picked up at the academy to use too. You know about the flea market tomorrow, right? Well, the wind orchestra is going to be performing on the auditorium stage in the afternoon for a little background music. It's just one fun thing after another at Thoris, isn't it? We had to pick a new head for the wind orchestra a while back, so obviously I put my name forward. But everyone voted for Bridgie. She didn't even volunteer to be a candidate in the first place. I really wanted it too. I wonder why nobody voted for me. What a mystery. I wonder how Alan did against Patrick today. Hopefully well, after that energizing lunch I made for him. I guess trying to support your significant other in every way possible is just part of being in love. I hope you find the time to spend with someone you care about today too, Reen. Thanks, I'll try. Bridget's a good girl. She's a good girl. Weird to think tomorrow's the last free day of the year. I'm gonna have to go exploring. Better start drawing a map and planning out the day now. I don't want to waste a single hour. I received a job offer from the Zemurian Railroad Corporation, so that's where I'll be working after graduation. They're going to be introducing something called a buffet car to certain trains, apparently, and they want my help with it. I certainly didn't see myself working for a train company, but traveling the country concocting new dishes sounds like a dream. It'll give me a chance to see how this nation is shifting from a variety of places, too. So yeah, you can see where everyone is deciding to go with their lives, what they're planning to do in their future. It's really cute and sweet. Extenuating circumstances have led me to opening an exhibition in Heimdall. More specifically, our club advisor took the liberty of showing off the piece I made during the war to everyone she could. Now I got people saying they want to become my sponsors or some garbage like that. None of that matters to me. I just wish they'd shut up and let me work. But you need money to do things. Clara. I wasn't able to figure out why painting felt so empty to me this past month. Well, not until you came back. All of a sudden, that emptiness is completely gone. Clearly, I like your company. Clara always says that paintings reflect the heart of their artist. Looks like she was absolutely right. Guys, if that's not a confession, I don't know what is. I'll be taking over Clara's position as the head of the art club once she graduates. Not that I feel I'm up to the task, but that won't stop me from trying. I can't live in fear of overstepping my comfort zone, not with you all doing what you're doing. I brought Linde some flowers I grew in the gardening club to use as a model for her painting. Do you want some too? They smell super sexy, just like me. A good sniff of them will cheer you up in no time. I'm kidding. Well, I do appreciate the thought, but I think I'm good on flowers for now. It's nearly time for me to bow to my academic career. Have the preparations been made for my return to my family's land, Serapha? Of course, everything is arranged for you to start managing them from the moment you arrive. I have also finished networking with all the other second years, so that you may remain in contact with them. Splendid! All is well then. With the Empire as it stands, it is more imperative than ever that we fresh young graduates stay connected. And what better contact for maintaining those connections than Vincent Florald, noble and patriot? I can feel the inspiration from here, Master Vincent. Oh, Vincent. My poor Vincent. You know how tough it is to do these special lessons for you kids? Got more than enough on my hands with just one set of lessons, but you guys just had to have your own, didn't you? I'm sure it's a ton of work. We really can't thank you enough for doing all of this for us. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, my current workload's a headache, but I'm sure it'll be upgraded to a migraine when next year rolls around. Due in no small part to that damn building over there. The one that's supposed to house Valimar and all of those soldats? The Imperial Army asked the Academy to build it, didn't they? Yeah, asked isn't really the right word, though. And it's not the first time. They made us take those combat shells, too. They even made me help with it since I worked on that Tachi. Just finished it up a few days before you came back from Crossbell. Yeah, I didn't know that. They haven't given us any soldats to put in there yet, but it's probably just a matter of time. Bet they're gonna be as common on the battlefield as tanks soon enough. Yeah. I was kind of scared to think how much has changed in Erebonia already since the end of the war. And this is probably only the beginning. Well, that's life. Nothing stays the same forever. Just don't spend so much time worrying about the future. You forget about what's happening in your life right now. Basically, don't freak out about the future of Erebonia when you got your own shit to deal with. Like next week's test. I'll be sure to study extra hard for this one. Maybe I should drop by that building and pay Valimar a visit later, though. I would have thought you'd be back in your dormitory by now to get everything in order for tomorrow. Now that you are here, however, there's one thing I'd like to ask you. How fares Arc-en-Ciel over in Crossbell? You should know after your recent venture. I can't say, I'm afraid. I didn't really get the chance to see what they were up to. I wish I could have, though. Maybe next time. Ah, reasonable. I was just worried as to Risha Mao's well-being. There have been rumors of late that the group's star performer has been gravely injured and is in the process of recovery. I've been worried that her absence may be placing additional stress on Risha. Sorry, forget I said anything. You wouldn't think he was such a devoted fan just looking at him. I wonder how he'd react if I told him that I actually ran into her, and fought her, too. Actually, I probably shouldn't tell him about the whole fighting thing, and I can hardly believe it happened myself. Both the students and the instructors seem so restless right now. Not that that comes as a surprise. Whether they stay at Thor's or go elsewhere, they'll have a brand new environment to adapt to. But new beginnings are a part of the nature of spring, and that's not a bad thing. The sunset's beautiful tonight, isn't it? The lino flowers have started blooming throughout town as well. I suppose you could say they're getting ready to see everyone off as they take the next steps in their lives. Well, no matter what you think the flowers are up to, try to make your last free day worthwhile. But stay out of harm's way. I'll try. No promises. I think it's wonderful that you've all resolved to do what's best for you. Rather than following the path life laid out for you, you're taking your lives into your own hands and forging new trails. Making it through the war has clearly had a positive effect on all of you. Well, you've been back for 3 whole days now. Have people finally stopped hounding you with questions? Sounds like you've hardly had a moment's peace at first. Well, everyone knew where I'd been. The whole country knows, what with the Chronicle running those stories about me. I can't blame them for being curious. It's one of those things you'll probably just have to get used to, at least as long as you're a hero in the public eye. Don't think about it too much. Just be sure to make good use of tomorrow, both for yourself and for those who no longer can. Thanks, I will. Why, hello, Reen. How goes your studying? I'd be more than happy to help if you're having any sort of trouble. Thanks for the offer, but I think I'll be alright. I've got the Machias and Emma support system keeping me on the ball. If that offer extends to next year, though, I'm sure I'll be taking you up on it then. Oh, by all means! Nothing in this world makes me happier than lending a hand to students in need. Oh, and by the way, I've pretty much finished decoding those black records you gave me. As much as it pains me, you can take them off my hands. You have? There's some fascinating stuff in there, if I do say so myself. Be sure to look them over if you have the time. Right. But can you believe the academic year is so close to its end? I'd just love to see it off with a big old party, wouldn't you? I think you're onto something. I'm pretty curious about this report he just gave me. I'll have to look it over when I get back to the dorm. So yeah, you can't actually look these over until you get back to the dorm. So don't worry about it for now. Just keep it in the back of your mind. If it isn't Rien Schwarzer, allow me to give you my belated congratulations on your incredible work over in Crossbell. Though it does break my heart that such a heavy burden should fall to a student such as yourself. Don't feel bad, sir. I was the one who chose to accept the Crossbell and government's request, after all. Besides, it wouldn't do me any good to run away from this. This role I've been given is difficult, but I'll see it through to the end. I ended up meeting some interesting people over there, too. I have no regrets. Then I shall only say one more thing. I'm sure your days ahead will be full of hardships. Be sure not to lose sight of yourself as you face them. That's all the advice I can give you. Thank you, sir. General Van Dyke was my superior back when I was in the army. As such, I'm planning on granting you a bit of additional assistance. Is something wrong, Schwarzer? No, sir, not at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Principal Van Dyke knew something, but now's not the time to start asking. Dude, come on. Grill people about your dad, damn it. The flea market tomorrow is a joint project between the Merchants of Trista and some volunteer first years. It's gonna be quite the occasion. Sounds just about right for the last free day of the year, if you ask me. I'll be there to see it for sure. Thanks, Skylar. You always were a real one, weren't you? Where in the world could my little sugar plum have disappeared to? Most men would be glued to the arm of a fiancé as delectable as I am. Vincent must just be feeling shy. There's not much time until he graduates, though. I'll have to find him so we can spend his final hours at Thor's together. No, Margarita, why you gotta be like this? The flowers inside all of our hearts have seen better days. Mine and Fee's included. But that's nothing to worry about. I'm sure that spring's warm caress will thaw them out and return them to normal. New seeds I planted have finally started to sprout. It'll be a while before we get to see any flowers, though. I was hoping I'd actually have the chance to raise these ones myself, but it wasn't meant to be.
This spot looks perfect for fishing.
Nothing like fishing to stave off the depression, right?
Not what I had in mind.
I owe nearly as much to the riding club this year as I do to our class. My time at Thor's wouldn't have been nearly as interesting if I hadn't joined. I consider myself lucky to have done so. I'm happy to hear that. Still, Reed, from what I understand, my brother owes you a lot for what you've done during your stay in Crossbell. I wouldn't say that. while I was there, I saw the extent of his political skill over and over again, and, well, I feel like I only now know just how much he's capable of. In both good ways and bad, I assume. I thought I knew him, just like I thought I knew my father. But in the end, they were both strangers to me. Sorry, Eustace. Well, enough about me. I just wish he could have seen his duty as one of the Academy's directors through to the end of the year, that's all. Aw, he misses his brother. I've been chosen as the next riding club captain. I can't help but feel like Eustace would be the right person for the job, though. Still, it's my responsibility now, so I'm gonna do an even better job than he would. I have my heart set on joining the Imperial Cavalry after graduation. We live in rapidly changing times, but that only makes it more important for me to chart Erebonia's path as both a noble and a soldier. Besides, this provides me an opportunity to put my Thor's education to good use. The lessons I learned from the Civil War, too. Why did I come to this conclusion, you ask? I suppose it was Eustace's influence, and that of a dearly departed fellow second year. Oh, Lambert. You're just so somber here. Hugo, you wee bam. I hope you're ready for the flea market tomorrow. I'm gonna outsell you so hard you'll have no choice but to admit I'm the better merchant. Becky. If you're only now declaring war, you've already lost. Any merchant worth his salt would have known the battle started the moment the market was announced. Did I overestimate you again? Aye, keep at it, mate. You will not be laughing for long, though. Cannot wait to wipe the smug look off his face tomorrow. I think it's about time I proved something to her once and for all. That my knowledge of marketing theory is nearly perfect, and approaches like hers stand absolutely no chance against it. Good to see Becky and Hugo are the same as ever. The doors are firmly shut. Oh, damn, I was hoping for, like, a little extra scene, but I guess there isn't one here. At least this time. Anyway, you can pick up all the back issues here. That's all the CS1 news articles. But there's a shiny. This person's just in my way, though, and I can't actually interact with it. Kinda sucks. Just saying. And this is all the recommended reading corner that was there last time. And nobody's up here. Alright. Let's go to the student union. Because there's a copy of the Imperial Chronicle we need to pick up. There's also brand new weapons for everyone, so you can get those as well. They are expensive as hell, but you know, that's kind of what you'd expect. Actually, no, these are the same weapons that we got in game. I just haven't upgraded a few people, like Elliot, who I'm not going to bother with. And Elisa, who I probably should bother with. Okay. Morning, Izuyoi. Welcome to the stream. We're just finishing off Cold Steel 2.5 here. And going over all the newspapers, because I forgot to do that. Well, I forgot to go over the Crossbell Times we got in the divertissement. And then we just picked up issue 7. So, this one's from Crossbell News Services, which is always nice to, you know, get a less biased source of news for once. Special issue. Crossbell's autonomy is no more. Today, on this 14th of January, 1205, Henry McDowell, provisional mayor of Crossbell, and acting representative of the state's government, signed an agreement ceding ownership of Crossbell to the Erebonian Empire, bringing Crossbell State's 70-year history to an abrupt end. Provisional Mayor McDowell was visibly shaken and teary-eyed as he emerged from the signing. When pressed for comment, he simply stated, "I have never felt such shame," before exiting the room. Shortly afterwards, Crossbell Diet also proclaimed its dissolution, and Crossbellans far and wide could be seen offering silent prayers of mourning for the country's autonomy. For its part, the Imperial government vows to protect the safety of Crossbell's people, and it has established a new government which will govern the territory from here on. Analysis. Were Erebonia's actions justified? In light of recent events, this question is likely on the lips of every Crossbellan citizen. We at the Crossbell Times have attempted to chronicle the events that led us here and provide you, dear readers, with an answer. Number 1. Crossbell's actions. In October 1204, the then mayor of Crossbell, Dieter Croy, illegally manipulated public opinion to gain support for the establishment of the independent state of Crossbell. At the same time, in an attempt to force other nations to recognize the legitimacy of this power play, the International Bank of Crossbell froze all of its international assets. Number 2. The Empire's response. The Erebonian Empire strongly condemned these actions, and, insisting that Crossbell had long been Erebonian territory, mounted an armed invasion of the state. This culminated in Erebonia's attempt to fire upon Crossbell City with its railway guns. Number 3. Crossbell's reaction. President Dieter Croy took action, using a newly developed weapon to prevent the railway guns from damaging the city, and destroy Gorelia Fortress to also prevent them from being fired again. Number 4. Chaos in Crossbell. Shortly after, President Croy's legitimacy was called into question, and he was taken into custody by the police. His arrest brought the chaos in Crossbell to an end. After taking up the mayoral seat on a provisional basis, Mayor McDowell revealed to the public the truth of what had occurred, and set about rebuilding the state government. At this point, however, the Erebonian Empire launched a second invasion, which ultimately led to the annexation of Crossbell. It cannot be denied that Crossbell's actions sparked the conflict with Erebonia, nor can it be questioned that our nation's forces attacked the Imperial Army. However, the Empire's response to these aggressions, including the attempted firing of their railway guns, which could have taken the lives of countless innocent civilians, cannot be considered anything less than excessive. Furthermore, Crossbell took responsibility for the arrest of its former president Dieter Croy, as well as retracted its declaration of independence. While we freely admit our nation's wrongdoings, it is very hard to argue that the Erebonian Empire's invasion, occupation, and annexation of our nation was at all justified. Doubly so, in light of the nation's attempts to put things right. The Erebonian Empire continues to insist that Crossbell was its territory from the very beginning, and that their occupation was merely to protect us from the Republic of Calvard. However, given the way things have unfolded, that explanation rings hollow to many Crossbellans. Just who owns Crossbell, and how should it be run? These are questions we will have to ask ourselves anew in the days to come. Tensions remain at Tangram Gate. Ever since the Republic of Calvard declared Crossbell's annexation by Erebonia invalid, Tangram Gate, situated on our eastern border, has been a hotbed of violence and political unrest. The Calvardian attempts at invasion have been repeatedly staved off by the Imperial Army's armored divisions stationed at the gate, but they show no signs of stopping. These large-scale battles have filled the hearts of the Crossbellan public with fear, but spokesmen for the Imperial Army have urged people to remain calm. The army vows to deploy its most powerful weapon, the Ashen Knight, alongside its Panzer Soldats, in order to bring the conflict to a swift and decisive end. Letters from the editor, under this wintry sky. On this icy January day, we have become citizens of the Imperial territory of Crossbell. It's not a change that's come about uncontested, and it's one that's sure to cause arguments for years to come. How could it not? Our new government will change life as we knew it significantly. While our nation may have lost its autonomy, as people, we are unchanged. We are still people with free will. People who think and feel for themselves. People who can envision what we want our future to be. No matter where the seat of power lies, or who sits upon it, this is still our home. We will keep thinking, keep feeling, and keep dreaming of a better future. regardless of what lies in store for us. Crossbell Times editorial staff. So yeah, pretty heartbreaking stuff, as they kind of summarize the plot of Azure for the people who never got to play it. Meanwhile, here's what the Imperial Chronicle has to say. Newsflash. Congratulations on Crossbell's annexation. Lord Rufus Alperea, best known as the man who led the Erebonian forces which moved on Crossbell, became the first Governor-General of Crossbell during a ceremony held at Orcus Tower, which will henceforth be the territory's new center of government. Alperea swore to work towards a stable society and build a new government, one completely different from those that came before. His speech was met with cheering and thunderous applause. Universal rejoicing in Crossbell. There wasn't a frown to be seen in Crossbell City today, with its citizens unanimously overjoyed to be incorporated into the Erebonian Empire. It's like a dream come true, said one 23-year-old woman. Others were more reserved in their celebration, happy to join the Empire, but remorseful for Crossbell's actions. We must have caused the Erebonian people a lot of stress, lamented one self-employed man I spoke to. It seems the annexation has brought about a new era of self-awareness for the people of the newly declared territory. Sorry, I can't say anything without commenting on that. Holy crap, the spin, man. Imperial Chronicle just loves the spin. Working together with Erebonia. Crossbell has long prospered as a result of having one of the largest merchant cities on the continent, and its inclusion into the Empire should only grant it greater prosperity. Wasting no time after returning to his position, Chancellor Osborne announced on the same day as the annexation that he would introduce new policies to support the territory's economic growth. Governor-General Rufus Alperea looked more than happy to hear the news, and the two capped off the meeting with an enthusiastic handshake to rapturous applause. The annexation of Crossbell is bound to bring about a bright future for the people of Erebonia, and we here at the Imperial Chronicle are united in supporting its future development. Economy. Crossbell sparks economic turnaround. Ever since the annexation of Crossbell, national economic indicators have been on the rise. There are several contributing factors, of course, including Imperial Governor Karl Regnitz's announcement that Heimdall has returned to normalcy, and large corporations like the Rhineford Group resuming their exports. But many cite Crossbell as the turning point. Some analysts even argue that the pre-war economy has already been surpassed. Furthermore, the capital is likely to see a massive influx of tax revenue from Crossbell, which many economic analysts predict will lead to unprecedented levels of prosperity. One economic pundit commented, "With Crossbell under its wing, Erebonia's economy is likely to reach greater heights than ever before. It wouldn't be hyperbole to call Erebonia as it stands a superpower." Society. The Ashen Knight overwhelms the Republican army. Reinschwarzer, the hero who brought the Civil War to an end, still has a few tricks up his sleeve, which he proved by single-handedly repelling the Republican army. The 18-year-old Mr. Schwarzer is a student at a prestigious military academy, as well as the only person capable of piloting the cutting-edge Ashen Knight. His achievements quickly drew the eye of the armed forces, and one high-ranking army staff member even says that they are considering giving him special treatment upon graduation to hasten his path to becoming a military officer. This young man's future seems exceptionally bright, but the military's been doing what it can to keep his light hidden. Nearly all information on him and his whereabouts is classified, and interviews with him are strictly prohibited. Politics. Special meeting of the Provincial Council. Another meeting of the Provincial Council is planned for the end of the month. Marquis Rogner, Marcos Higharms, and Crossbell Governor-General Lord Rufus Alperea are all set to attend. The meeting will deal with the aftermath of the war and the treatment of Duke Cayenne and Duke Alperea, both of whose questioning has now formally begun. The council has said that they will also issue a statement regarding the ongoing confusion in Ortis, where a splinter group of Noble Alliance forces continues to enforce its rule. Many have taken this as a sign that they may bring that situation there to an end. Life. Let's get the new year to a good start. 1204 had its shares of up and downs, but 1205 is finally here. The start of a new year is always a good chance to put the past behind us and start afresh. So, here are a few tips for welcoming the new year in a positive way, and work towards making it a good one. Number 1. Sort your belongings. This is a great opportunity to throw away all the unneeded clutter building up around you. Don't forget to get some cleaning in either. Number 2. Set at least one new goal for yourself to achieve in the year ahead. Having goals makes you feel more positive. Number 3. Be sure to give back to the people who helped you last year. Why not send them a card? That's sure to leave a positive impression. Number 4. Last but not least, be sure to get plenty of rest. Last year's Civil War took an exhausting toll on all of us, so much so that a large number of people in the capital claim to have witnessed a collective hallucination. Get those thoughts out of your head and start the year off healthy by sleeping well and sleeping often. So yeah, the spin. The spin is real. Tomorrow is going to be Emily and Teresia's final days as members of the lacrosse club, which means it's one of the last days we'll really get to spend with them. We better make the most of it. Oh yeah, I'll be passing the second year training regimen down to you tomorrow. It's crazy hard, but you're ready for it, aren't you? Give me a hell yeah. Of course. Imperial Army will be establishing a major new air fleet soon, you know? So, Emily and I are going to sign up. You can imagine how well Father took the news, but we managed to talk him around to the idea. Emily's already fired up at the thought of being an officer like Captain Claire one day. I have been appointed the captain of the Academy's lacrosse club. I swear on my name as a Florald, I will do a stellar job in fulfilling the numerous duties that come with the title. Though perhaps bringing my rivalry with Elisa to its conclusion by the end of the month will take precedent for now. Oh, look at Monk, hanging out by himself. Radio filled me in on everything you were up to over in Crossbell. To think, you used to need my help to get onto the radio. Nowadays the radio follows you. That's very, very impressive. But look, just take care, okay? Oh, Monk. I always knew you cared for us. You're a good dude, Monk. I appreciate you. It's odd to believe the second years only have a couple of weeks left here now. I still remember the day they enrolled here like it was yesterday. I think I'll treat them to something nice tomorrow. What's with the sour face? Come along, eat up. What you need is to down a warm meal. There's nothing like a full stomach to bring a smile to your face. So weird being back in Thor's again. Hey there, Sorry, wrong guy, huh? Sorry about that. I'm just so used to him coming here to mess around every day that I thought you were him. Still can't believe he's gone. Don't know if I'll ever be able to. Oh, my baby. My baby, why do you do this to me? Sitting in the club room as the sun sets, reading and writing with Dorothy. I really love times like these. I hardly realized just how much until recently, truth be told. It's kind of sad to think that, come next month, this will all be a memory. You feeling any better now? I mean, endless ocean of work aside. Honestly, the work's not all that bad. It's kind of nice to get back to a mundane life after so long away. I think my time in Crossbell helped me realize what's important to me, like spending time with everyone here. If you say so, just don't forget to rest up. Knowing you, you'll be busy enough soon enough. You'll be busy again soon enough. I actually was a little lost about what to do once I graduate, but my heart's finally set on becoming a writer. That's why I've been submitting my work to every literary magazine I can find. Literature is an important part of our culture, so I don't want a war to ever make us lose sight of that. And if I can do that through a profession I love, well, all the better. Oh yeah, my brother finally got back from Crossbell. He just showed up out of nowhere back home. It was a big deal though, given how long he's been out of touch. I was out fishing and missed the whole thing. Oh, that doesn't sound like Kenneth. I don't know what does. I want it. Why does it have to be so many goddamn angler points? It's scary just how fast the time has gone. I'm sorry that I couldn't accept your request though. Oh, don't worry about it. By the sounds of it, there'll only be one chess club next year. Anyway, for both upper and lower class students to use. Live your life how you want to. I couldn't ask for anything else. Thank you. We're lucky to have been students here. Not only did we get great classmates, but we got great second years too. And yes, I'm including Crow. Huh? This was the Occult Research Society's room. I can't see any sign of Beryl either. Maybe the club's been closed. Rex and I sent in some of our war photos to the Imperial Chronicle, and they really loved them. And we even received special recognition during the last Pulitzer Prize ceremony. That in turn led a man named Norton to offer me a job at the Chronicle, which I graciously accepted. I plan to use that position to spread the truth to as many people as possible. It's a real shame we never got to see Fidelio again. Like, he's kind of understated as a character, but he's a good dude. I like him. I appreciate and respect him. Sounds like someone's talking inside. Oh, and about next year's entrance ceremony? Don't worry, I got all the arrangements sorted out. Excuse me, could you stamp this for me, please? Hold on, just a second. I'll be right there. She sounds really busy. I should probably go in and check on the engineering building first. And by engineering building, we mean the gym, because I didn't check out the gym yet. Oh, it's you, Schwarzer. Is it true you're going to be helping the student council again tomorrow? I would imagine one in your position would take the opportunity to rest. And I suppose that's just not your way. Yeah, for better or worse, that's just how I am. How are things back at home, by the way? Our things are still kind of chaotic over in the Sutherland province. So it seems it's certainly keeping my father busy. Celestine will be returning home to help him, so I imagine he'll be able to stay on top of things, but... What's it to you how my family is faring? Don't you have enough to worry about as things stand? Well, I have no shortage of scores to settle with you, so I'd appreciate it if you got back to being your old self. Otherwise, I'll simply end up speeding ahead of you before you know it come next month. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Looks like I'm finally able to go toe-to-toe with Patrick. Guess I got all of Bridget's support over the year to thank for that. These aren't my laurels to rest on. A good boyfriend aims higher, to make sure that he can always keep his girlfriend safe. Where'd you go, buddy? Instead of going home once I graduate, I plan on going on a little journey. I've weighed all my options, and this one stood well above the rest. I'm curious to see how far my swordsmanship can take me, so if nothing else, it should be a very interesting experiment. I decided to ask Loggins to join me as well, so let's see how he replies. Well, he's not here right now, so... Hopefully it's good news. It's official. One Klein graduates, he's going into the Imperial Army. In fact, that's where he is right now, doing some sort of training program. I was hoping to pick his brain about some stuff, given that I'm the new captain of the swimming club. Oh well. Having to race against Laura is a little panic-inducing, sure, but I can't let that put me off trying. I won't get better if I never push myself. Then let our race begin. I expect nothing short of your best. Of course. Alright then.
Oh.
Hey there, Rain.
Looks like someone's done with class for the day.
Yep, just got out. Wait, is that?
Yep, Angie's brand new bike.
We started building it for you, but then we had a change of heart. I just couldn't tear you away from your current ride after you'd grown so attached.
Aww.
Now I feel bad, considering I pretty much did just that to you. Your new one's got a pretty cool design, though.
Don't get too jealous. Specs are pretty much the same as yours. Well, before Angie tunes it up and adds her custom gear for distance riding, that is.
But distance riding would mean... You're planning on going off on some big journey, aren't you?
10 points to Rain. I just felt like it was time for me to go out and see the world for myself. My martial arts teacher did the same thing once, so I'm sure it'll be a valuable experience for me. The plan for now is to travel through the entirety of Zemuria.
That's not a very specific plan, and a pretty sizable journey.
You can say that again. I no idea where she finds the energy.
Oh, really now? Your plan to visit the continent's most famous engineering factories is pretty much exactly the same thing.
You really think so?
I take it you'll be leaving Erebonia for a while too, George?
Seems that way. First stop's Liberl and ZCF. Always wanted to see it.
ZCF.
After that, I got my heart set on a trip to the Epstein Foundation over in Lemon State. While I'm at it, I think it'd be nice to pay a visit to the Vern Company in Calvert, too.
Will you even be able to get into Calvert at this point?
Hey, I didn't say it'd be easy, but I think I can pull some strings. The real reason for this trip is to figure out what I can do as an engineer to help smooth over our international relations. Meeting the continent's finest engineers and discussing things with them should really help get the ball rolling on that.
You've thought that far ahead. That's really admirable. I hope you can find a way to make that happen. Even though I feel kind of hypocritical saying that, as someone who participated in the war.
Damn, dude.
Don't beat yourself up over it, Reen.
You have nothing to be ashamed of. That was your only option, given the way the Chancellor set things up. Your actions actually helped us avoid an even longer, more brutal war.
But...
Angie's right. You played a role that no one else could have. Just think. If things kept going the way they were going, we could have been at war with all of Crosspell. I don't even want to imagine the number of lives that would have been lost if you hadn't stepped in the way you did.
Of course, us telling you whether or not you should feel guilty doesn't matter. It all comes down to you facing your own feelings over what you did. But there's one thing we'd like you to remember as you do. You're not alone, Rain. You've got friends who understand why you did what you did.
Sometimes I wonder how I was lucky enough to get such good ones.
My baby.
Thanks, you guys. This really helps.
This entire epilogue is just sadness. The episode.
Don't mention
I swear.
it. On a completely different note, why don't you pay Valimar a visit while you're here? We spared no expense making sure he'd be nice and cozy in there.
I think I will, but not to discredit your coziness efforts or anything, but he seems fine no matter where I leave him.
Well, aren't you a sweet chevalier? Maybe I'll check in on him in a bit too.
Make your way to the hangar? Yep. The Night Soldotch storage area. I mean, it's a hangar, let's be real.
Hey, Valimar. How you holding up?
Relatively comfortably. My ability to self-repair means that maintenance is not mandatory, but I expect it will increase my operating efficiency.
Glad to hear it. This is going to be our new home base for the time being, so you can get in as much maintenance as you need. I'm gonna need you a lot in the days ahead, Valimar.
I will strive to meet your expectations.
Something wrong?
Not as such. I thought I sensed something unusual, but it must have been my imagination.
Well, that's not good.
You really are getting to be scarily human these days, you know? What was it you sensed, though? A person?
I am unsure. It may have simply been a fluctuation in the earth veins below us. Similar fluctuations are hardly abnormal.
Well, if you don't think it's anything worth worrying about, I'll try and put it out of my mind. If you sense anything strange in the future, though, let me know, okay? You can tell me... telepathically was the word, right?
Indeed. I shall use it to inform you should I sense anything amiss.
So yeah, he can talk telepathically with his knight now. It's, pretty bonkers. Oh god, how do I get out of here? Oh, there's the door. You can imagine my father wasn't exactly thrilled with my decision, but he gave in. Eventually. I suppose I should be grateful for having such an understanding father, and such a hard head. There's no telling when I'll be back, but I guarantee that I'll be even more awe-inspiring than I am now. Oh, and the stories I'll have to tell. You've got a lot to look forward to. This tour of mine's not going to be easy with the international climate the way it is, but I'm still excited to get started. I'm going to learn a ton. About technology, about how a nation's culture affects its people and its engineers. I can't wait. Just hope seeing all that stuff helps me figure out what I should be doing with my future, too. God, I got so much Sepet that I have no uses for it now. Okay, that's reasonable. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's go see Toa. I think. Let me just check if I'm missing anything else one more time. Pretty sure I talked to everyone I could. Yep. I can't hear anyone talking now. I guess the meeting must be finished. Maybe I'll be able to see her now. There's definitely someone in there, but there's no response. Oh, I know. Excuse me, I'm coming in. Oh look, Toa's asleep at her desk again. She's clearly working way too hard.
Yep, I knew it. No wonder she fell asleep. She must have been really busy getting everything sorted out for the spring. Makes me remember finding her like this over in the computer room. Oh, right. I probably shouldn't look too much or she'll get mad when she wakes up.
Angie, George, Crow.
That reaction, man. He cannot get over losing Crow.
Rain? What are you doing in my room? Wait. This is the student council room. I must have fallen asleep.
That you did, Toa. Reen, what are you doing in my room?
Without permission.
Is this?
I did knock though.
Is this my wet dream? No, this is reality, Toa. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's my fault for dozing off like this. Why do you always have to keep finding me like that? I hope you weren't looking at me while I was sleeping again.
I did try to look as little as possible.
Well, if you say so. Is something the matter? You're not looking too well.
No, I'm fine. Maybe the light streaming in through the window is making me look off color? I feel fine, really.
We don't believe you.
Come with me.
Toa's gonna fix you up real good.
What's this all about?
I know that you're a boy and all, and I do think that you've grown a lot during your year here. No, I probably shouldn't even call you a boy anymore. You're a grown man now, but that doesn't mean you always have to stand and endure everything life throws your way. Okay? If it gets too much, it's alright to sit down and let it all out. Whether you're a boy or a grown man doesn't change that. It's okay, Reen.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I promised I'd bring him back. I promised I'd make him graduate with you. But I couldn't do it.
My baby. My
It's
poor baby.
okay. You did everything you could. You made sure he knew how we all felt. And you let all of us know how he really felt too. So, don't get so worked up about it. Okay?
I'm sorry. I didn't want anyone to see me like that.
Well, I guess we're even then.
Oh god, the couch is glitching out. Help.
Not like I jump for joy every time you catch me sleeping.
Have you finished getting everything ready for the next student council now, by the way?
Yep, my days of being president are almost done. The first years taking over are really smart, though. I barely had to teach a thing in the end.
Still, it must have been hard work getting through it all. You're going on a tour of various NGOs after graduation, right?
Yep. The plan's to take a year to visit NGOs in lots of different fields. Politics, economics, engineering, medicine. After that, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'll probably join either the army or something related to the government, I suppose.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'd both love to have you. There's no chance either one would say no to you.
Yeah, you're probably like the hottest prospect on the continent, let's be real. It's like, holy shit, Toa Herschel's graduating? We need to get her in our field now.
Especially since taking a year off hasn't made them any less determined to recruit you. After all you did with commanding the courageous, it's no wonder you're so in demand.
I don't know. I don't think I did anything special, really. Still, I feel like it'd be best in the long run for me to see the world from a variety of different perspectives. I don't know what path I'll choose, but I want to step onto it with a firm decision on how things should be. I think that's the best thing I can do for this country's future. Maybe I'm being a little overdramatic there, though.
Not at all. After how much you've done for this academy, I can only imagine how much you could do for this country. Just try not to overwork yourself, okay? We're with you all the way, but we will always worry, you know?
Thanks. Oh, I almost forgot. What was it that made you come here? I mean, I'm happy you did, but...
Oh, I'd completely forgotten too. I just came to ask if there was anything I could do to help tomorrow, seeing as it's another free day.
But you've only just come back. And besides, tomorrow's your...
That's all the more reason I want to spend tomorrow's free day the same way I spent all of the others. It wouldn't feel like our final free day is Class 7 if it were any different.
Well, if you say so. Okay. I do have a few things in mind, so I'll just drop them into your mailbox in the dorm like I always do. And thanks for offering.
No matter how things change, some things stay the same. Reen! Hey guys, didn't expect to run into you. Yeah, crazy coincidence, huh? Are you headed back to the dormitory too? That was the idea. Why don't we all head back together then? It's nice seeing the flowers as they start to bloom. Yeah, I know you said earlier that they'll be in full bloom in a week, but I'm thinking it'll be closer to the end of the month, personally. Just in time for the welcoming ceremony. The new students will be able to begin their academic lives here surrounded by lino flowers, just as we did. How wonderful. You've all known each other since your first day here, right? That's right. Nobody else started partway through the year like you did. But back then, I never could have imagined we'd get along this well. We got off to kind of a rocky start. You're telling me. Especially Maki and Eustace. For what it's worth, I do regret the way I behaved back then. It's not exactly something I'm terribly proud of. Oh, think nothing of it. Immaturity makes fools of us even at the best of times. Thanks, Hold on, what's with that expression? You weren't exactly standing on the moral high ground either. I wouldn't have had as much of a reason to behave the way I did if you hadn't kept looking down your nose at me. Did you not hear me say, the best of us? It was hell on all of us at the time, but it's all just a fond memory now. I suppose the same could be said about your and Reen's little incident at the start of the year, couldn't it? Just had to bring that up, didn't you? I should have seen this coming. Ooh, little incidents are my favorite. Tell me, tell me, tell me! Well... don't you dare! She's the last person who needs to know. Our first day really was full of surprises. Yeah, I can't imagine too many teachers welcome their students by dropping them through a hole in the floor. Even without having to fight a gargoyle on the way out, that's a pretty memorable start to a school year. That gargoyle proved to be quite the opponent, too. I'll say, when we finally managed to pull together and defeat it, she just casually drops in like nothing happened. It's like she was lying in wait the whole time, watching and waiting for her chance to strike. And that's exactly what she was doing. Still, as exhausting and unusual as it was, that was how our class began. I'm pretty sure it burned into all of our memories at this point. How could it not be? I have no doubt about that. Even so, I'm sure it'll be one of the memories that I'll cherish decades into the future. Aw, now you got me all jealous. Now it's my turn to do something crazy and make some super memorable memories, too. Don't you dare. I dread to imagine what she's thinking when she says something crazy. On a hopefully unrelated note, what are we gonna do for dinner tonight? I'd only planned on getting something over at Kirsch's, but if anyone has any better ideas. I think it may be a good idea to make something for ourselves. If we divide up the work between us, I'm sure our meal will have quite a bit of variety, too. Well, that does sound nice. My cooking skills were in danger of getting rusty, too. No objections here. Well, unless anyone has what they need already, I think it's time to split up. We've probably got a lot to buy, so...
That won't be necessary.
Oh, hi, Sharon.
Huh?
Nice of you to pop in.
Sharon?
What reason could you possibly have for being here?
Well, she knew Master Reen was in town, and she needed to get her fill. I mean...
The chairman gave me her permission to return to my former position as your dormitory's caretaker. Which means I am here to serve you all once more. There may only be a short time left until the end of the year, but I'll make sure you want for nothing during it. I've already started preparing your evening meal, so there's no need to go out and buy anything.
Oh, well, how about that?
I'm fine with this.
We will gladly accept your offer.
Sharon's cooking's better than whatever grub we could rustle up together anyway. How do you manage to get permission from Mother in the first place, though? Weren't you helping to rebuild the Reinford group? I thought the company was getting so many orders in, it was struggling to keep up. Now that Master Gwyn has returned to the company, everything is back in order. He and the chairman have been speeding through one task after another since he got back.
Yeah, so Gwen's back with the Reinford group.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So the former and current chairman make quite a team, I see.
Boy, I'm starving.
Wouldn't mind a drink either. With the weather getting warmer, it's just about time for peak beer season. Huh? What are you guys all gathered out here for?
Oh, why are you here?
Oh, Sarah.
It's a pleasure to see you too, Lady Sarah. I brought a bountiful supply of smoked oysters and sardines if you'd like a snack to accompany your beer. Would you like them alongside your dinner?
Damn it. Yes.
I'm surprised she can just walk around in public like this. You know, considering her affiliation.
Guessing there's some sort of agreement in place between Reinford and the government to leave her alone. Though, even if there weren't, I can't imagine anything would be able to stop Sharon from doing what she wants.
True enough. Tell those serpents from Ouroboros that if they stand in my way, I will crush them beneath my heel.
Whew. I think I might have eaten too much. It's been so long since we last had Sharon's cooking. She hasn't lost her touch. None of it feels heavy on my stomach at all. Well, that's all my work done for the day. Maybe I should go see how everyone else is doing.
You can explore Class 7's dorms on the night before each free day. Be aware, however, that the story will progress should you return to Reen's room. So yeah, go pay everyone a visit. Alright, there's nobody in this room.
Here's Crow's room. I think I'll stay away from it for now. I feel more like going around and talking to everyone.
Probably a good idea. We don't know what sort of shenanigans you might get up to in Crow's room like that.
Something on your mind, instructor?
You could say that. I've been mulling over how things are gonna be come next month, but all this soul searching's giving me a headache.
Well, it'll probably feel strange being back with the guild for the first time in 2 years. But I bet they'll be glad to have you back. Things are probably going to be rough over there, even with you taking up the bracer life again.
No doubts there.
Yep, and Sarah's moving on from being an instructor to going back to bracer work.
I can already see plenty of traveling abroad in my future after what happened over in Crossbow. And I imagine it'll keep getting harder and harder for us bracers to operate here, too. What's with that sad puppy look? There's no reason for you to feel ashamed of what you've chosen to do. I'm proud to have a student like you who can stand up and make the tough choices life thrusts on us.
Thanks, instructor. I'll try to just grin and bear it for now.
Attaboy. Sticking it out through the hard times with a smile will put you on the fast track to becoming a great man. Just make sure you don't try to shoulder too much. All that'll do is turn you into a jaded grump. Everything in moderation, okay?
Thanks? I haven't joined the intelligence division, and I have no plans to. I'm gonna keep responding to their requests, but only if I'm comfortable doing what they're asking. And I can promise you, I'll never do anything that would put me in conflict with the guild or put innocents' lives at risk. I don't know what the future will bring for me, but that's the creed I want to stand by.
I know. Don't worry. No matter what happens, you'll always be my student. So go out there, live your life, and grow into such a heartthrob that I won't be able to take my eyes off you.
Oh, Sarah.
Well, I'll try.
Oh, Sarah. Never change. Never change.
What's up, Milliam?
Oh, hey, Reen. It's nothing. I just feel kinda down.
Down?
Yeah. I was just thinking about how everyone was at dinner time. Sharon's food was really nice, and we all seemed like we were having a good time. But I don't know. It was weird, like we were all upset but didn't want to let it show. It's been bugging me.
Oh, so that's why. You really have grown so much these past few months. And not just mentally. I think you've gotten a little taller, too.
Maybe. About 2 rage or so? Judging by my specs, I'm not gonna get much taller than this, though. I'm Mini Milliam forever and ever. But you never know. Maybe I'll grow up to have boobies so big, I can use them as a shelf like Emma's.
Oh, God.
Something wrong?
Nah, not really. So, you've got a new mission starting next month, right?
Yep, I've gotta go see how things are over out west. Duke Cayenne's been arrested, but it sounds like things are still pretty nuts over there.
Yeah, with that splinter group of the Noble Alliance still acting in Ordis.
Oh, but guess what? I might get to go out to Laburo and Rimiferia soon.
What is it with you and blabbing classified information? Well, whatever. Just promise me you'll take care of yourself. Be sure to keep in touch. I'll always be right there when you need me, okay?
Righto, I promise. That goes double for you, mister. If you need me to bust you out of a jam, just say the word.
Bird. No, I'm sorry. The bird is not the word. Also, there's the Mishies. There's the potted plant B gave her in that bonding event, but where's the teddy bear? I see a whole bunch of Mishies, but where's the teddy bear that Osborne gave her? It's not in here. Damn it, Cold Steel, you had one job. You had one job. Whatever.
Feeling sad about leaving the lacrosse club behind?
Yeah, I was really into it by the end. I think it'll make for some wonderful memories to look back fondly on in the years to come.
I can imagine. Does that mean you're not going to keep up with lacrosse in Ruhr?
I don't think I'll be able to. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any local teams I could join. And even if there were, I doubt I'd have the time for sports. Just thinking about how busy I'll be makes my head spin. No, scratch that. Being busy is all the more reason I need to make time for exercise.
Yeah, good luck with that. Helping out with the Rhineford group sounds like a recipe for one all-nighter after another.
Not just yet, actually. I won't be helping until Grandfather shows me the ropes. As I am now, I doubt I'll be able to do much at all in the way of rebuilding the company. But you can bet I'll leave Mother speechless with how much progress I've made in a year's time.
I'm sure you can if you put your mind to it. And I know Sharon will always be willing to help you out if you need her.
She probably would, but then she'd just tell everything she did to Mother.
Elisa?
Oh, don't worry about it. I was just thinking about how blessed I am. I've got a wonderful family, a great club I'm part of, all of you as my classmates.
I don't know about that wonderful family part. I mean, aside from Sharon, and like, yeah.
Oh, right. It took me a long time to realize the same thing too.
I mean, your mother's kind of just like complete garbage to you, and I feel bad for you every time you try to cling on to the fact that maybe she has some lingering affection for you. Ugh.
We really are one and the same.
Yeah.
Oh, she's crying.
Elisa?
You broke her. Good job, Rain.
It's nothing, honestly. I'm just feeling a bit emotional all of a sudden. I don't know what's gotten into me. Nothing's wrong, though. I promise.
But...
Still, let's both make the most of our free day tomorrow. It's the last one we'll ever have as a class. The last thing any of us want to do is end it with regrets.
Yeah, agreed. Let's make it a day to remember for both of us.
Let's talk to Laura.
What are you looking at, Laura?
It's you, Reen. I'll show you.
Oh, you and Monica got a picture taken together? You both look so happy in it, too.
That we do. Someone in the photography club kindly offered to take it for us. I thought it would make a fine souvenir of my time at the academy to take away with me.
My mirror's on that being Rex. Oh well, it's a nice photo, and he got permission. For once.
Good old Rex.
I never expected you and Monica would get so close. Between her and Fee, you kind of have a knack for becoming the best of friends with the ones you bump heads with first.
Please don't say that. I'm truly grateful to both of them for broadening my horizons. Meeting them enriched my life in ways I could have never pictured before. Truly, coming to this academy was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I didn't realize we'd made such a big impact on you.
Well, you did. And don't mind me, I'm just feeling a little emotional. This isn't like me at all now, is it? There's no harm in a few tears, I suppose. This will be my last time I can relax before my training, after all.
Oh, the sadness.
Yeah. You're not gonna
Sadness
get
the
much rest
episode.
in with the training you've got lined up.
I won't be learning the Arcade School's advanced techniques with training any less intense. I have no idea where we'll be conducting said training, but it will no doubt be as perilous as it will be dangerous.
Laura, that means the same thing.
I had to spend a month in the Isengard range as part of mine. I don't think a month's going to cut it with what you're doing, though. It goes way beyond your average techniques.
Indeed. I'm anticipating that it will take at least half a year, if not more. Father's going to be with me. But with things as difficult as they are, part of me feels guilty for taking up his time.
I don't know about that. I think him agreeing to train with you shows how much faith he has in your potential. Besides, in a lot of ways, this might be the best time to do it.
That is very true.
What's wrong?
Nothing at all. Regardless, I'd love to come and visit you should the opportunity present itself. And if it does, I'd like to formally request a duel with you to test how much the two of us have grown.
Let's not kid ourselves. We both know who's going to win that duel.
Me.
But your invitation is all the motivation I need to get plenty of training in myself. Can't have you beating me too badly.
I hope you will.
So yeah, she's going to go master the Arcade School's techniques, training in the mountains or the forest or what have you, to bring her body to the highest potential possible to take in the mastery of the school. It's like the old tropes they show in those martial arts movies where you need to train and hone your body to a certain point so you can reach mastery of techniques and such.
Emma? What are you doing?
Oh, hi there, Reen. Well, Dorothy and I decided that we're gonna put together one final collection of stories as a club. Since then, I've been working on a story for the students who will join the club next year.
Oh, that sounds neat. Wait, if Dorothy's involved...
The content is totally appropriate for children of all ages, I assure you. Admittedly, Dorothy's own story sounds like it'll have a few of her favorite literary elements, but all in moderation, she assured.
Not that I'm one to judge. What kind of story are you writing?
It's supposed to be a fairy tale. I can't pretend it's 100% original, though. I borrowed some elements from a story I heard as a child.
She's actually just writing fairy tale.
It's going to star a golden unicorn and a pure-hearted maiden. Or at least, that's the plan.
Sounds interesting. Can I give it a read when you're done? I'll still be here next year, so if I see any first years who seem like they'd enjoy it, I'll recommend it to them.
I have to confess, I'm a little embarrassed to let anyone see it, but the whole point of a story is to be read.
Something wrong?
No, not at all. I'm sure you and Valimar will be just fine without my help now. Still, if you do need anything, don't hesitate to get in touch. It may take some time to contact me, though. You'll need to use a method that isn't exactly conventional.
Yeah, I could have guessed as much. I mean, I theoretically get how to use runes to communicate since you told me, but I have no idea how it actually works.
I'd be shocked if you did. It's pretty far removed from the orbal technology you're used to. It has its benefits, though. For one, you'll be able to reach me no matter where I might be. So don't ever hesitate to drop me a line if you need my assistance. I'd always be happy to hear from you.
All right, I'm sure I'll give you a ring. Or a rune, I guess. I hope you end up being able to find Vita, too.
Thank you.
So yeah, Emma's going because she needs to hunt down Vita, and obviously the trail's running cold. And then, right, Elisa's helping with the Rhineford group.
Are those seeds you got there?
Yep, Adel gave them to me. They all came from the plants we grew in the gardening club. I'm just looking at what kinds there are here.
Really? That's really nice of her. It's kind of like you can take everything you've achieved over the past year with you.
Yeah. I wasn't even going to join a club until Adel found me relaxing and invited me. But I guess it wasn't so bad.
Don't you worry. I'll be sure to check on the gardening club every once in a while just to see how things are going. It would be a shame if all the plants you've spent so long looking after were to wither and die.
It doesn't matter. Even if they do, they'll eventually bloom again somewhere else. Kind of like us.
When you put it that way, I suppose you're right. Fee, what's wrong?
I think you could do with some more watering too. Though that probably goes for both of us. I still don't know whether or not I'm doing the right thing. But it doesn't feel right abandoning a member of my family like this. Maybe I should stay with you for at least...
Fee, we talked about this, right? I hate to say it, but going our separate ways is best for the both of us right now. You only get one life, so I want you to make the most of it. Don't hold yourself back for my sake or anyone else's. The same holds true for all of our other classmates, too.
I guess. I want to find out where Zeno and Leah went. The rest of the Corps, too. And I still want to find out what they meant by bring back the boss. No, not want to. Need to.
I don't want you to put yourself in any more danger than you have to. But I know how much your family means to you. So, more than anything else, I want you to do what you feel you need to. Don't worry about me. I'll be right here waiting for you to come back when you're done.
You better. Once I find them all, I'll introduce you. Because of all my new family members, you're the most special to me.
Yeah, that'll go over really well with your family of Jaegers. Well, whatever. Bring it on.
You knew what you were getting into. It's fine. Are you sure you haven't been doing anything inappropriate towards our Fee? No, I swear. Please don't hurt me. Oh no.
Oh, there you are. You look bored, Celine.
I guess I am. My work's done at this point. I feel like I aged a few decades as soon as the war came to an end.
Come on now.
Feels a bit strange to be saying it after the fact, but you fought pretty well over in Crossbell. You've really mastered piloting Valimar.
I'd like to think so anyway. I feel like I could pull off just about anything with him now. And to think, I couldn't do half as much with him when I was first starting out.
You do realize you just admitted you were totally useless, right? I wonder if you're gonna be okay without us, you know? Valimar must have drawn the short straw to end up with a budding awakener like you.
Thanks for worrying about me all the time, Celine.
Excuse me, what makes you think I was worried about you?
Just about everything. From what I can tell, you've always worried about me. Back in the beginning, when I didn't know anything about piloting, you were always there to guide me through our battles. I doubt I would have ever come this far if you didn't have my back. So, thank you. For all of it.
Why do you always have to be like this?
Because being sappy's in his nature.
There are parts of the legends passed down in the clan that not even Emma and I know about. But just bear this one thing in mind. Divine Knights have incredible power, and they can become devils just as easily as they can become gods.
Somebody in the localization team really liked Mazinger. I mean, hell, I really like Mazinger, so I don't blame them. But hey, that's a reference.
Don't worry, I know. And I won't forget. Anyone in my position needs to know the difference between right and wrong. I'm well aware of that.
That's fine then. Anyway, good luck, I guess. If you really need it, I can always come and help out.
Roboto, Mazinger Zero.
Oh, good evening, Masterine. I thought you had already retired for the evening. How would you like for me to put together some supper?
I appreciate the offer, but I think I've eaten more than I should have as it is. Your cooking really is delicious, Sharon. I was starting to miss it after not having it for so long.
It was my pleasure to cook for all of you again, so I pulled out all the stops with this one. Seeing all of you happily indulging my handiwork always makes every second of preparation worth it. Is something the matter, Master Reen?
Oh, I was just thinking about how you haven't changed a bit. I'm not sure it's my place to ask, but is everything all right over at Ouroboros? I can't help but wonder after how things turned out. Vita seems really shocked.
I'm afraid I haven't a clue. No word of what's been happening in the society has reached my ears since then. I have no idea where the second Anguis is now, nor do I know what happened regarding the Phantasmal Blaze plan after the Chancellor declared he was taking it over. And quite frankly, none of it is my concern. The answers won't change who I am, and it won't suddenly cause me to shift priorities. I am and always will be a proud maid of the Reinford family.
I wish they stuck with this line.
Not because of the freedom we enforcers are granted, but because that is simply who I am.
I wish they had stuck with this line. I wish they would have stuck with, I'm a maid of the Reinford family for life, and I will always stick by the Reinford side. Cold Steel 3, how dare
Much like how you being the Ashen Chevalier doesn't change how you are also a proud member of Class 7.
I suppose you're right.
And no matter what happens to you in the future, never lose sight of who you really are. It's almost time for me to return to Ruhr. But should you ever need me again, I will gladly rush to your side.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you can stay here for a while longer.
Alright, I need to talk to the dudes. I haven't talked to any of the dudes yet. So, let's start with our buddy Machias.
Hey, Machias. Working hard or hard?
I'll stop you right there. Of course I'm hard at work. Just look at the size of this book. If I can't internalize as much of it as possible while I'm here, I'm doomed to failure from the start.
The only reason it's so many pages is because the print is so frickin' big, Machias. Come on.
And this is one of your new textbooks? Man, Heimdall's political academies don't mess around, do they?
Nah, I'm skirting around. That's obviously just there because, I mean, textures. God, can you imagine?
You'll be the youngest person there, right?
Most likely. I'd normally need to have graduated from Thor's with a bit more experience under my belt to have gotten in. There are a few Thor's grads there already, though. They take some every year. And as you might imagine, the recent political upheaval has the place swarming with applicants this year. The entrance exam was hard enough on its own, but that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Can't say I envy you. Still, I know you're going to be just fine. You're so smart that you can handle any subject they throw at you. Growing up with your dad should give you a leg up on the politics, too.
Yeah, no pressure there. Honestly, there are times when I think diving into things head first like this is a giant mistake.
What's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. It's just... I know we're probably going to both be really busy with our own lives come spring, but let's make time to have lunch together once in a while or something, okay? Studying is all well and good, but even I need a change of pace every now and again.
I think that can be arranged. The train from here to Heimdall only takes a half hour. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't hang out sometimes.
Then it's a date.
Aw, it's a date. Machias loves you, Reen.
Are you finishing up your painting, guys?
Yeah, this is my last one. I want to make sure I'm completely satisfied with it before declaring it finished.
That's why they have the camera angle not showing the canvas at all.
That's understandable. You're going to keep painting once you're back at home, though, right?
Well, I don't know how much time I'll have to set aside for it, but I intend to keep working on it, bit by bit. There's growing reason for concern in Calvert to the east of the Highlands. But all in all, things are more peaceful now than they were. I should be able to focus on painting my magnum opus.
Oh, is it going to be of Nord? If anyone can make a masterpiece of the Highlands, it'd be you.
That wouldn't be such a bad idea. But actually, I was intending to paint a picture of the Academy, its students, and the courageous.
You mean...
Now you're getting it. I want to capture the day we liberated the Academy. And once I've finished it, I fully intend to return to Erebonia with it in hand. What better way to forever memorialize this place as my second homeland?
Man, you really are amazing.
My boy, guys.
Well, if you ever need reference materials, you know who to call. I can get pictures of anything you might need and send them over. I know you're talented, but that's a lot to paint off of just your memory.
I'd appreciate that.
Yep. Artist, use your references. See, look, he's painting white on white. What a champ. What an absolute stunning, legendary piece. Holy crap. I'm not gonna mess around. I know Without Home's budget was shoestring, and this was a game for the Vita. Like, I understand.
Something on your mind, Eustace?
I'm just being a dick.
For the first time in a long time, no. I'm just taking a short break. Looking over an endless sea of documents can be rather tiring on the eyes.
Oh, are those the tax reports you mentioned?
Oh, God.
Ordinarily, this would be my father's work, but His Majesty has yet to decide his fate. Rufus hasn't so much as glanced in Berea Hard's direction since he took his new job in Crossbell either.
Obviously.
As such, the task falls to me.
Man, I knew everyone in our class had it pretty rough right now. You've got it roughest, no contest.
If my ego had its way, I would boast that filling in for my father is a simple and mundane task. But on top of the paperwork, I'll need to manage the provincial army and oversee the province as a whole. Then there's the matter of keeping the most stubborn of the nobility in check. I don't expect the first 6 months to be pleasant.
The fact that you're already thinking 6 months ahead is pretty impressive as it is. Standing in for Duke Alperea like that must take some real confidence. I know you'll manage, though.
That much is obvious.
What is it?
It's nothing. In the days to come, more people will be relying on you than ever before. But no matter who does so or what they ask, do not lose your pride as a noble. Act independently, your head held high. Maintain your pride and your autonomy, and I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I promise I will.
I'll hold you to that.
My boys are all growing up. My boys. So good. Let's go talk to Elliot.
Hey, Elliot. Taking care of your violin?
Yeah, it's taken care of me over the past year, so why not return the favor? I'm actually planning on giving a few of them to the Academy before I go.
I mean, you got like 6 in here, so that's only fair.
Just to make sure next year's first years have something to practice with.
That's really generous, and sure to make a lot of people happy. And you'll finally be heading off to a music academy, just like you always wanted.
And Elliot is going off to the music academy because he never wanted to be in Thor's in the first place. And now that Class 7's all going their separate ways, why the hell would he stay? Vereen? Get real.
I bet they'll push you pretty hard over there, too.
I don't doubt it. I'm going to need to be all music all the time if I want to stand a chance at keeping up.
Oh, don't worry, Elliot. You already are.
Though, to be honest, after all the time I've spent here, I don't really want my life to be completely about music. I love it, obviously, but to be a balanced person, I want to have a bit more variety in my life, like I had here at the Academy. For one thing, I don't want to get too rusty with my orbal staff.
Good to hear. I hope everything works out for you.
Thanks. Me too. No, it's nothing. Either way, Heimdall and Trista are really close, so don't be a stranger, okay? I know you're gonna have tons of work to get through between your classes and your missions, but...
Don't worry, I'll make time. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to see each other. There's still a ton of Heimdall I haven't seen, too. You'll have to show me around next time I make it over there.
You bet.
Alright, guess we're gonna turn in. Let's make a new save though. Come to think of it, I've still got to read that report on the black records Instructor Thomas gave me. Maybe I should give it a read now before going to bed. You can read the report from the event tab of the camp menu's items section. So, pop it open. And all of the black records in the notebook were updated. The gods of creation, before Septine calendar. In the beginning, there were two great gods. One boasted unrivaled courage, the other unparalleled fortitude. They descended from the heavens with their kin, and it was upon the dark land below that they first met. Calamity. Their opposing natures incompatible, the two were drawn irresistibly into battle, and thus began a struggle that shook heaven and earth. The goddess and the spirit's laments were for naught. As the land quaked, the skies were torn asunder, and the gods' kin could only tremble in fear. After what seemed like an eternity, their clash came to an end, but it was an end of mutual defeat. Their powers spent, the empty shells of the two celestial titans were flung into the furthest reaches of the dark land. All that remained in their wake were terrible, their kin, and the great power. The Dark Dragon, year 371, Septine calendar. 200 years after Heimdall was first founded, Rune rose on monstrous wings from the depths of the earth. Its name was Zoro-Agrugra, the Dark Dragon. A malevolent creature of terrible power, it spread a miasma throughout the capital that turned Heimdall into a city of the dead. But the horrors did not end there. The evil dragon desecrated the corpses of the fallen, taking control of their bodies and using them to attack those who remained alive, further increasing the legions of the dead. The emperor at the time, Astorius II, was forced to flee the city with what remained of his household and citizens. Together they retreated south and established a new capital in the land of Saint Arc. Through 100 years and 6 more emperors, the bane of Heimdall went unchallenged. It was the 7th, Hector I, who resolved to recapture the city. Time had proved an ally to the beast, however, and the dragon's influence had spread over the surrounding area like a plague. Undaunted, Hector I led an army of brave knights into the necropolis in an attempt to free it. But though their hearts were steadfast, their arrival was met by legions of powerful fiends, and their emperor seemed doomed to end in failure. It was then that Hector I had a fateful encounter with none other than the great Vermilion Knight, Testarossa. The knight recognized Hector I as its master, and bolstered by its immense power and countless weapons, the Emperor moved once again on the city and to the decisive encounter with the Dark Dragon. The battle shook the city to its core, and at the end, the Vermilion Knight was victorious. The scourge of Heimdall, the Dark Dragon, was defeated. However, the price of victory was steep. The corrupted blood that flowed from the dragon claimed Hector's life and defiled even the knight itself, placing a curse upon it. The noble Testarossa became the Crimson Calamity, a demon with 1,000 weapons that only reacts to the blood of the Arner family, a destructive force on par with the Dark Dragon that, should control of it ever be lost, would threaten the world and all who live in it. It was sealed deep underground, never intended to again see the light of day. Meanwhile, a new city rose from the ashes of the old, and people once again began to gather in Heimdall. And that was when the Vermilion capital that endures to this day was first built. The War of the Lions begins, year 947. In the year 947, Emperor Valius V passed away. His death heralded the beginning of the largest-scale civil war in Erebonian history. Valius V was a ruler with a somewhat debaucherous reputation, and is said to have had countless wives and concubines. To further complicate the matter of succession, many of those wives came from prestigious noble families, all of whom began competing for power and wanted their offspring to take the throne. Within days of Valius V's death, Crown Prince Manfred, the son of his first wife, was assassinated by an unknown party. Following the death of the Crown Prince, the fourth prince, and son of the first of Emperor Valius's secondary wives, Prince Orthrus, seized the capital by force. Once in control, he declared himself the new emperor and began purging all those who dared to oppose him. The coup set off a succession of counterclaims, and 3 other princes also named themselves to be the new emperor. Backed by the powerful noble families of their mothers, the competing princes ignited a bloody 5-year-long civil war, and thus, the War of the Lions began. At first, the princes' armies were largely equal in terms of strength. It wasn't until Orthros, who would later come to be known as the False Emperor, revived the being that had long been sealed under the city, that the balance of power shifted. The Testarossa, the legendary Vermilion Knight, now tainted by the blood of Zoro Ogrugra, saw the light of day once more. With its unmatched strength under his control, Orthros decimated his greatest competition in one fell swoop, and the 5th Prince, Gunnar, was defeated. It seemed inevitable that the armies of the other princes would share the same fate, but it was at this pivotal point that the war took yet another surprising and sudden turn. The unexpected development came in the form of another great knight, the Palatine Knight. The famed champion was acquired by Prince Lucius, the 6th and youngest of the feuding brothers, and with its power, he was able to defeat the army of the brilliant strategist and second Prince Albert. Victorious and backed by the knight's power, Prince Lucius was poised to challenge Orthrus. Prince Gunnar and Albert's armies, however, were not completely wiped out, and decided to join forces with one another in order to oppose the other princes. It was thus that the war became once fought by 3 separate groups: Prince Orthros with the Vermilion Knights, Prince Lucius with the Palatine Knights, and Princes Gunnar and Albert, who had no knights, but compensated with their sheer numbers. The War of the Lions had been raging for 2 years now, and the chaos only worsened by the day. Erebonia seemed fated to fall into ruin and darkness, fitting, perhaps, for a nation that takes its name from Erebos. Welcome to the stream, Deej. I hope you're having a good time, and welcome everyone else who's joined in. We're just reading the Black Records here, as dramatically and with as much pomp as they deserve. Dreikels takes up arms, year 949. A young man lazed on a grassy plain, enjoying a nap in the peaceful setting. Before long, however, his rest was interrupted by the arrival of a second young man on horseback. The youth wore the trappings of a knight, and his expression was deathly serious. His armor bore many rents and scratches, and his left arm was bound in a bloody bandage. The first young man had not seen him in several years, but a cheerful reunion did not seem to be his purpose. "You were right after all," the second man said gravely. "At this rate, the Empire's days are numbered." At this, the first young man rose from the grass. He was none other than the 3rd Prince of the Erebonian Empire, Prince Dreikels. As a man with no claim to the throne due to his commoner mother, and shunned by the other highborn princes, Dreikels had long since left Erebonia behind, wandering from place to place and whiling away his days. 3 years prior, he had reached the land of Nord, where he had remained ever since. Though left to his own devices since childhood, his nature was noble, and he was quickly accepted by the people of Nord, and lived peacefully among them. But while he had left his homeland, he had not truly abandoned it in his heart. During his wanderings, his mother had passed away, but while she lived, she had told him something that would remain with him for the rest of his days. "The blood flowing through you will not allow you to turn your back on the Empire's suffering." Prince Dreikels had turned those words over in his head again and again. What could a powerless vagrant like himself truly hope to do? The knight's arrival, however, signified 2 things. The war continued to worsen, and that Erebonia was on a certain path to ruination. His mother was probably correct. Hearing the knight's words, he decided that was enough. He could ignore the pain of his countrymen no longer. That night, incidentally, was called Roland. He was a childhood friend of Dreikel's and his confidant. He was also the man who Dreikel's had left in charge of things in his place before leaving the country. Prince Dreikel set about preparing to depart, but before he could finish, he was met by several of the tall knights of Nord, their cross-shaped spears in hand. They too were close friends of Dreikel's, and they volunteered to accompany him and Roland, fearing that the two men alone would not stand a chance. The next morning, the prince departed the village, a mere 17 men under his command. They bade farewell to the people of the settlement, and its elder wished them well. May the winds and the goddess be with you, he blessed them. Fortune favor you all. The war comes to an end, year 952. Prince Dreikel's opponents were the armies of 4th Prince Orthrus and his Vermilion Knight, 6th Prince Lucius with his Palatine Knight, and the combined forces of the remaining princes, Gunnar and Albert, who had a legion of magical golems under their control. Yet, it was he, the illegitimate son of a commoner and latecomer to the war, who had emerged triumphant. His victory did not come with losses, however. During his return to Erebonia, Roland fell in battle. Not long after that, however, he met a woman who would change his destiny forever. That woman was none other than the daughter of Count Sandlot, who hailed from the lakeside town of Legram. Her charismatic personality and peerless skills with the lance earned her the leadership of a band of knights known as the Eisenritter, and the moniker Lance Maiden. Her name was Leanne Sandlot. Prince Dreikel's and Leanne Sandlot may have come from wildly different backgrounds, but their concern for the innocent victims of the war united them in purpose, to bring an end to the bloodshed, and it was those shared feelings that made them join forces. The two of them, along with the warriors of Nord, the Eisenritter, and all of the other peoples of the nation whose hearts they moved, liberated one town after another, and were eventually successful in persuading even Prince Lucius, owner of the Palatine Knight, to fight for their cause. At the same time, however, the false emperor schemed to elevate the cursed Vermilion Knight to even greater power, to godhood, and thus the Vermilion Apocalypse was created. The demonic god emerged in Heimdall alongside a monstrous castle, and vanquished the approaching armies of Albert and Gunnar in a single battle. Their end was anything but conventional, however. They were simply erased from existence. Even the Palatine Knight could not contend with such a foe, and was felled. And as it decimated all who challenged the false emperor, countless crimson spirit veins spread out from the castle, stealing the very life from the capital's citizens, as well as those in the surrounding area. Defeat seemed all but inevitable for Prince Dreikel's, the Lance Maiden, and their followers, but they refused to give up. Following the guidance of a kindly witch, they were led to a new Great Knight, which slumbered on the outskirts of Heimdall. After overcoming a trial, they were able to claim the Ashen Knight and its power, with it in hand, along with their many supporters and the army of Prince Lucius. They marched on the capital for the final time, eventually making their way to the castle at its center. 3 days later, on the 4th of July, year 952, the castle vanished from existence, and the city was liberated. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the hidden history of the War of the Lions. I wonder if I should just hang out in my room until it's time to go to bed. Resting in your room will cause the main story to advance. So yeah, I'm not going to be streaming for much longer, just until these days' events are done and the free day starts. I guess I'll turn the radio on.
In finance, the annexation of Crossbell has seen shares in Erebonian companies increase at an exponential rate across the board. And despite the Reinford Group announcing sweeping changes to its board members, its strong forecast for the next fiscal year is...
It's time for the start of a brand new program here on Radio Trista, coming at you promptly every Sunday. I call it Aubin time after the word for evening. Might be a little cliched, but sometimes simple is best, right? Clichés are clichés for a reason, after all. Anyway, my name is Misty, and I'll be your host.
I wonder where Vita is now. I get the feeling she actually enjoyed doing Aubin time, but it's not like she could have ever kept going after all this. Huh? I wonder who that could be. Hello?
This is you, isn't it, Rean?
Elise.
Yes, it's me. Sorry for calling you like this so late in the evening. I'm not bothering you, am I?
Oh, not at all. I'm just not used to you calling me. Are you calling from school?
Yes. I wasn't going to, but Her Highness insisted. It'll take some getting used to, but it's nice to be able to hear your voice even when you're so far away.
Aw. I was pretty surprised when I heard your voice, too. You weren't really one for phone calls back at home, either.
I didn't have any specific reason for calling. It was just that the letter you sent about your return from Crossbell arrived today.
Oh, that was fast. I only sent it a couple of days ago. I'm sorry it even had to be a letter. I really was planning to go pay you a visit, but it didn't work out.
Oh, please don't apologize. I know how busy you must be now. Believe me, I was just happy to hear you were back safe and sound. Your trip must have been exhausting. By the sound of things, you did an excellent job, too. I'm so proud of you, Rean.
Thanks. I didn't do all that much, though. Really. Half of what the Imperial Chronicle is reporting is massively overblown.
If you say so.
Is something wrong?
No, not at all. Regardless, now that I've heard your voice, I feel a lot better. So I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your night now.
Right. Night, Elise. I'll come and see you as soon as I can, okay?
Oh, there's no need for that. Good night, Rean. Sweet dreams.
Huh? She seemed somehow odd. Well, she's probably just nervous talking on the phone. It was kind of awkward for me when I started using one too. Tomorrow's going to be my final free day of the year. I guess I should do all my prep work for next week today, so I can make the most of it. March 13th, the final free day. Alright, so we've got 5 quests to go through today, so this one's actually going to be pretty long. But yeah, we might as well check these out. The Race to End All Races. Client, Angelica. Payment, 3,000 Mira. You've been getting pretty good at riding my old bike. Good enough to pique my curiosity. I want to settle once and for all which of us is the better rider, and there's only one way to do that. If you're up for the challenge, come find me in the engineering building. Angelica. Class Warfare. Ladies and gentlemen of Class 7, it is finally time to settle which of our classes is superior. Come to the academy field fully equipped and prepared for defeat. Patrick. Yay. Junk Wanted. Client, Brandon. Bunch of students are helping us put out a flea market, but we haven't got as much to sell at our stall as we'd like. Mind remedying that? Stop by my store and I'll give you the particulars. Please and thank you. Brandon. Let's Talk Trista. Client, Michael. I plan on starting a brand new show here at Radio Trista, and I'm going to need your help to get the first broadcast just right. You got time to make radio history? Meet me at Trista Radio Station. Michael. And Angler Management. My brother and I are having a fishing battle, but I'm going to need your help to actually make it happen. So, if you get the time, we'll be at the fishing spot in Trista. Kenneth. There's one from the radio station, a request for help with the flea markets. These all seem worth doing, and pretty fitting for the last free day of the year, too. It's only about 9 in the morning, so I've got plenty of time to work through everything. Let's get to work. About reporting quests. To report quests, speak to Toa in the Student Union Building directly. By selecting Report Progress, you can receive rewards for any quests completed. So yeah, we just go directly to Toa. There are no bonding events, so, you know, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Just go ahead and do your quests. In any case, we'll be saving that for next time. Because it is really late, or in my case, really early. But who cares? I've been streaming for a while, and I think it's a good stopping point. This has been Logic Blade. I'd like to thank all of you for coming today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thanks for popping in when you could. I hope you enjoyed the divertissement, the Black Records, and all of this extended epilogue that we're getting in Gold Steel 2.5, because that's what this really is. If you wish to support this channel, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and follow me on Twitch, sub to me as well. And if you're interested in supporting the channel a little bit more, I do have a Patreon account that you can send money to, if you so feel like it. That's up to you. In any case, thank you all for coming once again, and have a lovely evening. See you next time for some more Trails of Cold Steel's 2.5. Farewell.